Hello everyone, Conor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the hedges, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. Well, what's crack everyone? Welcome to the Limited Slip Differences podcast, the podcast where we talk all things cars and farming. I'm Conor and this is
Michael.
And we now have guest Tylor
Cartin. So we have Tylor with us this week. So Tylor is joining us now in, I want to say studio, but that's an offence to anybody that's actually made a studio.
We have moved shed.
We've moved shed, and the reason for moving shed is we were doing it where my lift was, and I have a couple of new projects to sort out this winter, and
I was fed up, nearly falling into a hole.
Yeah, so there's actually a drain area, and Conor's chair always sat on top of it, and we had to have a steel plate over the top. And anyway, we did talk about this in the last podcast, but basically where we're sitting is my dad's old workshop, and this place was a mess. So you think it might still look dirty? Trust me, it was a million times worse.
This is phase one.
It was stinking.
If they could see the other side of the camera.
Yes.
That's the thing, is we just simply relocated the mess. And then I came in with a leaf blower and
we swear there is no filters applied here.
we blew down all the walls. So we actually had originally said that we weren't going to move in here till we'd everything done, but because of the way our shed is, it was we're like, right, fine. So then decided we'd make, I had the Granada Cosworth seat sitting, and then I was like, I'm going to make up chairs using the Granada Cosworth seats, and then realised that I didn't have the brain power to run electrics to the Granada Cosworth front seats. So then,
to be fair, right, you had one seat rail welded up, one seat frame welded up, and then I sat down on it and went, nobody is going to sit like a granny is driving a car. Nobody's going to enjoy that.
This is the problem. So then instead had Sarah Cosworth seats surplus to requirements. That makes me sound like, Mr. making it rain here. Like, I get these seats when Sarah's were not expensive cars.
And he is sheds full of fucking shite. Severely full of shite.
So,
and now even full of my shite at times too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So we decided then, fuck it, we'll make these rails. Well, Conor stood and watched. Anyway,
I watched. I drank some Monster. I provided the drinks in the crack, and watched TikTok. And also,
you always need somebody in the garage like that.
Like the way
keeps morale high.
Most people use buffing discs with grinders.
Yes.
He uses fucking a metal brush.
Wire wheel,
sorry. Metal brush, wire wheel. And the fucking bristles were stuck
everywhere.
exactly, and into my legs. I'm not even doing anything and I'm getting hurt.
I can't believe that. The audacity.
I love the wire wheel. The wire wheel is the best job in the world.
You love the wire wheel.
Well, if you weren't doing any work, so fuck you.
That's what you get for standing and doing nothing.
So anyway, Rashly,
I can't even say anything back to that.
Rashly painted up the rails and covered them in iron, that red oxide, and then just painted over them black. So they probably need done again soon. Moved it down here and then went, you know what, that's actually not bad. So then decided to go and set up some lights. Didn't thankfully electrocute myself, which I'm surprised. Got that sorted, and here we are. So it's a bit dingy. Probably need to sort the lights, and it needs a paint. And Tylor has offered to come down and help paint the place for us. So
I did. That's right. I remember that.
To be fair, you've said. To be fair.
I have nothing else to do in my life.
I know. Sure, you do fuck all bar sale tickets.
I know.
You're going to be free.
I know. I'm always free.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pencil it on. Maybe this time next year.
It's fine. Anyway, so that's probably the biggest what's new. To be fair, I'm going to stop talking for a bit and find out what's up. What's new with you guys? You can go first, Conor. Tylor's still probably thinking.
I'm still thinking.
You think I'm not? What is new with me?
I'm the only one that actually rehearses for this. I think about this. I make notes.
The one job that we had to do, we still didn't.
Well, anyway, what happened me new? Most recently, I was at a wedding.
Yes.
Shauna Baxter, if I'm getting that right, and Kieran Kelly.
Yes.
Got married at the weekend.
Yes.
So I went as Gemma's +1. She's good friends with Shauna. And I got blitzed. and it was enjoyable.
Good enough.
First wedding, I was actually below the border. Even just so obviously the music and all stays on longer.
Yeah.
So like what? Normally, whenever you go to a wedding up here, it's 1 o'clock or so it stops.
No, not down there.
No, it was 2 o'clock, and then they were sort of ushering us out about 3 o'clock. So, if I sound a wee bit hoarse,
you're still recovering.
I am still recovering. Yes.
I think you're still drunk.
Possibly.
I hope not. Hope not. To be fair, actually, I found a life hack.
Right.
So, if you do like me, I drink a lot of Jameson ginger ale with lime. Does anybody else drink this?
Nope.
It's nice, by the way. Just letting you know. Yeah. Drink a litre of water at the end of the night because you're dying of drought. Because you don't want to just sink a double, and you don't have a hangover the following morning.
Good enough.
Good life
Good
advice.
enough. Good enough.
Yes.
Nothing.
I'm turning 30, and you would fucking know it.
Same.
Yes. You can tell.
So nothing car related or tractor related then?
Well, I've arrived here this evening, and I found out I've got £10 less petrol in my car. These fuckers took my car out of
It wasn't my idea.
Oh, it was 100% my idea. Like.
I didn't say no, but it wasn't my idea.
Did you check her for oil afterwards?
No.
Well, you need to check her for oil in the morning. There's probably more blue smoke than any other smoke about her.
I wasn't hard on her, to be fair.
No, I actually wasn't. I was surprised.
You weren't hard. I got a wild good bang from second to third gear. Yes,
that's not hard in
you
a
weren't
car.
hard on her.
That was not hard in the car.
You probably, went harder than in your own Sierra.
Well, she's not mapped at the moment.
Well, that's good, actually.
So I can't really drive her hard.
True.
Still makes good
Framed
noises,
it,
right
but,
enough.
the noises were good, like so.
Well, not complaining. Not complaining. I didn't get to enjoy them this time, but yes, is there anything else new with me? No.
Tumbleweed.
The wheels spinning on you.
literally.
The wheel bearing's going.
I literally feel like two Sierra cunts actually are taking the complete hand out of me right now. So
That's exactly what's happening. That's pretty much what's happening now.
Is that why I'm sitting in the middle of the year?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just when you throw stuff at you. Right, well, what's new with you?
What's new with me? I have been thinking about this for the past 10 minutes.
Well, on the topic of weddings.
Main thing, I got married. I got married like 5 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So now a wife, which is pretty mad. I feel old as F, which is crazy. It sounds really weird.
What age are you?
27.
Oh, well, then you're away compared to us.
27.
I know, like,
married.
well, to be fair, like, I recently got engaged there, and now saying fiance instead of girlfriend.
It's weird. So weird. Like all them we step, but so we're married now. Nothing's changed. So
Where was the reception?
Kelly Heaven in Enniskillen. Top class. Really, really good. Whole weekend was just amazing. Wild crack. Same, just drunk from morning to night, like, but
good
class. Very, very good weekend. So that was 5 weeks ago. Crazy. Times just went on. Haven't got away on a honeymoon or nothing yet, but that is in the pipeline.
Sure.
Where he's going?
Nothing planned, nothing booked, nothing.
Go to Malta. Go watch the drag racing.
Go watch the elk version of Malta.
Oh, right, okay.
Malta is actually class.
Is it?
Honestly,
I must put that in the list.
You wouldn't really go for more than a week, to be fair. But Malta is phenomenal.
I would go anywhere at the moment.
And
I would go even Dorn.
if you go...
I really would. I would go anywhere.
If you went to Malta like later in the year, you'll get the drag racing finals. It's honestly, I done it like it was unreal.
There we go.
It was
That's
class. So there you go. There's your honeymoon book.
Sorted, right? Must get that booked tomorrow.
If you had listened to a previous episode, you
would
have known that. You would have known that.
It's like Tyler's our biggest fan.
I am.
Maybe on TikTok.
I am on TikTok. I do. I see all of it on TikTok.
So nothing else then.
No, I'm back to work, so I'm just working again, which is class. I'm just one of them people. I just work 24/7 every hour of the day. I'm just doing something. So taking like a month off for the wedding, like killed every inch of me. So, but I got the Sarah out for the wedding, which was a big achievement. So she has been lying for about 2 years since the Sarah run about 2 years ago.
Yes,
Tullyroan Cartin.
Yep.
Sapphire.
Yes, she wasn't touched.
A non-bastardized version of his.
Yes.
Oh, fair enough.
Complete
What colour is it?
Silver.
So actually one of the nicer colours in them, to be fair.
I never wanted silver, but
seeing the outer cars, it's the same as twin cams. Silver's a class colour in them.
You know what? I really like it.
That's when you get to about, because even the early E36s look class in silver. But then when they got to about 1999, I don't know what they done with the shades of silver. They all just started looking shite.
Like awful. Anybody, this last 20 years, all you're used to seeing is car ads, no silvers. But I actually think now people are like,
because white's the car, white's
white took over. And see now, I would take silver over white.
Oh, 100%.
That's why I have a silver Golf.
I wouldn't be against buying a brand new silver car. Not that I'm in a position to buy a brand new car by any stretch of the imagination, but
who is in a position to buy a brand new car?
But if say I managed to get a company car, hint hint. Anyway, if I was even able to get one of them, like I wouldn't be against silver.
I wouldn't. I do like silver now. I do. But
like even you see people that used to be B8A4s and like all that there, Passats and stuff, no silvers. And as you say, that's gone now.
It's all changed.
Sure, every car you meet in the road's white.
I know. No, I don't.
But to be fair, for a long time, sure, white with black roof.
Yeah.
So and then now I look at that and go,
I know. That was such a thing.
So tacky, black roofs. I hate black roofs now. Like
I don't say that. I have an A7 with black roof. She's red though.
I've seen your A7 on Instagram or something. It is actually class.
Why'd you not come down here, Nat?
Because I love my Mark IV Golf.
Good enough.
I drive my Mark IV Golf.
Is it 130?
150.
Oh, anniversary and all.
Yes,
150. GTA badge on it, you know.
There's a GTA badge on it. It came like that.
I would know, but you do get the PD 150 diesel.
I read that somewhere. Apparently, like they came out of the factory like that. So.
Well, the GTA badge.
I know a GTA. Yep. So you get the diesel GTA, which is the PD 150 anniversary. So it's like the precursor to the GTD, I think.
I'll be right enough. Why?
Or was
some
it the
absolute hero has put our car on tier on her too? So
deadly.
It's not standard, but it's there.
So you have a Golf.
Yeah.
A class Golf.
Yeah.
You have an
A7.
A7.
Yeah, which never turns away. It's absolute sun.
That is a sun.
And you have a Sierra.
I have a Sierra. Yeah.
Which
you must be making more coin than I am anyway.
No, I actually I'd say everybody thinks that, but looking at my Instagram page, but. If I have a fiver by the end of the week, I'm doing well.
I'm about like that too.
All my money goes in my cars, and I actually I'm just always thinking like what am I buying next, and then the husband now is like, Tyler, like get rid of something before you buy something else. Like I'm now at the stage where I probably need a van for my teaching courses and stuff.
Yes.
And I would need a van, but that means parting with the Mark IV, and I really don't want to do that.
I toy with the idea of buying a van too, but I don't really want to get rid of anything.
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3 projects sitting there, and they're like, why don't you sell your projects? And I'm like, the problem is, it's not even that. There are too many pieces.
Yes, they're not even sellable.
So I'm not going to break it.
No.
I'm not breaking it. So it's like, why don't you sell? Like, I had the Cavalier there.
Yes.
And everyone likes to remind me how it was the most stupid financial decision I've ever made. And it probably was, but it gave me the engine for the Sierra at the point. So
it's been used for something. It's salvageable.
But, right, well, I actually have a couple of what's new things.
You're mad buzzing, sir, to get talking.
I just want to talk about Mary.
Oh, son.
I
think I was in the street for a whole maybe 30 minutes before I got introduced to Mary, and he was like vibrating as he was telling me. He was telling me all this. Oh, when he see this, I got this, and blah blah blah. And he didn't even tell me what it was. And he was like, as he was sliding open the door, and it was that dark I couldn't really see. And the next thing the light came on. I was like, "This is Mary," and I was like. I had no idea what to expect there.
No offense.
I didn't know if it was a car or it was a person or what it was going to be.
Tyler's going like, that heap of shit.
Mary started third turn of the key tonight, I'll have you know.
Well, you know what else happened? I started third turn of the key the night too.
We've had 2 blippers before we get going. So
I'm still fucking no better than. Actually, we're in episode 19.
Oh, I
forgot to say that.
We do talk about bullet points, and we're like, we should hit this, and then Conor forgets
everything.
All of them, every one of them.
Sure, was it the third podcast? We tried, like writing chat down.
Oh, we tried to script it.
It's no good.
Because I was talking to him, and he was like, "What do you want me to say?" I don't know
what to say. Now, the people listening to us won't know this, but the first effort we tried to do, Conor, like we tried to introduce you, and then we both looked at you, and then it was just this awkward silence.
I felt really uncomfortable, and I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to introduce myself."
Of the 3 of us, just sort of sitting there, just for what was all but probably 3 seconds, and felt like half an hour. Well, that was me and him like trying to talk to each other, and we were like saying, "We'll do this," and then it was just Conor staring at me, and me just going.
Taylor's are like, "Hey."
Hello. I actually introduced myself.
So,
full professional.
Back to Mary.
Back
to Mary.
Yes.
Most
How
important.
old's Mary?
Mary is 40 years old.
Oh, sure, she's no age at all.
She's well matured.
Not even run on.
Exactly.
Jesus, she has
no filler needed at all.
Well, here, wait to hear this, right? The boy that took her up the road was stopping in at another farm to like leave off because he was in a lorry run. So I got her in a back load because I'm too miserable to pay for a standard load down the road.
Yeah.
So fair enough. So your lad was like he had taken like mowers down to another farm in Cork or something, and he was saying that the boys he was chatting to knew that map, bro. So Mary's either got around a wee bit, or she's just got a bit of a name for herself.
She's a farmer's big. That's what that thing is.
That sounds like that to me.
She seems like she's been round the clock already. Like she's been well used.
That boom's been used for some loads. Hey.
She has seen some amount of riding. Like
she's pushed.
She has seen some amount of bucking, and when that mean buck raking.
No buck egg here, it's all buck rake.
Buck rakey. Oh, pure filth, lad. Pure filth. This is an uncharacteristic side to me. This side never normally comes out in the podcast. Doesn't you, because you're a dirty bastard. But
she pushes loads out of the road like no, nothing else can.
Takes a wild load. I could do this all night.
I don't even have anything to say.
Oh, you were cracking the jokes earlier off the camera. Yes. Don't even rule yourself as innocent here. Like
her mouth is as foul mouthed as anybody's.
That's true. It's been good crack. Like anyway.
I've worked with men my whole life. Like it just.
If I was to talk about Mary, I'd keep talking about Mary. So I'm going to move on.
But where did Mary come out? Like Mary?
Oh, Mary.
Yes,
oh well.
Tell us that at least.
Just you're a better interviewer than him. Mary, literally the fella that I bought her off, he kept going like, "Jeez, I'm going to miss old Mary," and because I would chat to him on Facebook, like I have him Snapchat and all, like. He's such a cool guy. He used to have Sarah's. He knows like James Dean and all them boys from down the south. Knows Evenflow and all them lads. Like just Cork. Just was into the drifting and all. Anyway, but he's a lorry driver and all as well. Like so, he drives a Fendt at the minute, like a big Fendt, and like pulls a trailer that has a crane on it to lift like sticks and all that stuff. Anyway, off the point.
Logs.
He was logs. Anyway, sticks. Well, actually, I think it is like branches.
Sorry.
No, well, it's
a crane to lift twigs.
No, it is.
I'm actually just envisioning just lighting the fire, like all these sticks.
Well, actually,
it's worse. Thorns.
Well, he lifts branches and all as well because he takes it all to like a burner.
Trees.
Right, trees. Okay, we'll agree in trees. Fine, we'll agree in trees.
Logs and trees.
Anyway, so off the point.
You're getting
anyway,
roasted here.
So he was. Can we not go back to roasting him again? No. So we
I'm already a shit interviewer, lad.
So we were chatting.
In episode 20, it'll be fucking Tyler. It'll be fucking introducing you. It's not me.
Hell no,
I'll be back to McCoos.
So he was in saying to me, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to miss Mary and all," and he's like, "Oh, look after Mary for me." He goes, "And Jesus, I was out in the yard there, I need to move things, and I was just thinking to myself, I had old Mary about, so I'm going to get a number plate called Mary,
you should say, Hail Mary, not full of grace. The Lord must not be here."
She's not blessed anyway. Well, hopefully. Oh, actually, she should be blessed. Blessed to have her.
You're blessed.
Get the holy water, lad.
You're lucky. You're lucky, man.
Anyway. Can I talk about Tullyroan now?
Okay.
Right. Now, do I have your permission now? So, at the weekend there...
He's jumping to the best to do, yes, I.
Well, I need to actually take the phone out.
If he was shaking earlier on, he's definitely shaking.
Well, I'll have to take the phone out now and do the whole unlock thing and all that there. Anyway, I kind of want to run Tullyroan because Tullyroan for me is one of the best nights of the year.
Yep. I was raging I couldn't be at it. But it was a lovely wedding. It was also at, so I'll say nothing else.
I think you enjoyed yourself the very best there, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't really remember, but...
Nah. Yeah. So he thinks he enjoyed himself anyway.
Tullyroan.
Anyway. We'll ask them more.
So, there was actually, Kevin Quinn organises it every year, and Kevin would have a right old pull about him. Like drift games were there. He had Josh Moffat in his S15. I'll talk about that in a bit. Martin Richards and Bagsy were there.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's able to pull a big old crowd. Anyway, so I landed in just as the final qualifying was going on, and Dwayne topped qualifying, as you'd probably expect in his home turf. Anyway,
God help the engine in that car, but it
did you see Bradley's Snapchat?
Fucking unbelievable. I didn't see Bradley's Snapchat.
Holy
No.
ghost! After he done the celebration, and all, he just sat and hooped and done just limiter.
I actually think I did see that.
Unbelievable. But anyway, he came off. He done the qualifying run, and he done a ween of 360s. And I don't know whether it's pure skill or pure luck at this point, but he swung the car around, and nearly hit the wall, but just skimmed it no more. And I was like, I know Dwayne can steer, like there's no question about that. But I was like, that was close. And I was like, I don't know whether he got lucky there, whether because he was just like top qualifying, he was celebrating like. And
He done a 360 and then it's like he went to try and do another 360 and then he stopped. Is that for seen that video?
Something like that.
And then it just was sheer limiter and a wee burnout and then he went off.
So then top 32 I came into. So one of the first battles that caught my eye was actually a local lad. Well, I say local, he's out the road from us, Callum Coogan. He'd be closer to you nearly.
Okay.
He's from Ralstown, as far as I'm aware. He was against Bagsy. So I think his is, it's maybe not a 328, it might be an M3.
Yeah.
But he was able to sort of sit all right with
Halford
Bagsy.
he's in?
Yeah.
Only, is it an E36 or E46?
It's a E36.
Estate or saloon?
No, just a coupe. But he was out in it, and he was against Bagsy. You talk about baptism of fire. He done well. Like, he done well. Now, Bagsy's car obviously has a shit ton more power. But like he done well. Like Bagsy was nearly sort of like feathering it behind him.
Was it very damp though?
It was for the start of top 32.
If it's nice and damp, it wouldn't matter what power
I think
you
they're
have.
also allowed to run. I think they run street tires.
So
that'll even the score. That'll even up the score even more. And then Blaine Rafferty versus Josh.
Josh must have beat him.
Josh did beat him. Josh was going well, to be fair.
Nothing else against Josh, but whenever I actually seen that or seen that Josh went through the top 16 from his Instagram, I was like, was Blaine having an off day?
Blaine couldn't get her to. I don't know what happened, but he didn't seem to be able to kick her sideways. I don't know what happened. I never got chatting to him after. I seen him standing, but he was chatting to other ones that didn't really want to go annoy him. So I'll maybe. I was actually on to him on Facebook about coming on the pod though. So we'll try that. Blaine would be good crack.
That would be an interesting one.
Do you know Blaine Rafferty?
No of him.
Fuck, he's a funny bastard. Aye.
We tortured him for about 2 hours. Not this year, but last year.
Fuck, he's some crack. Like, then it was Dave Egan versus Josh Moffat. Josh Moffat put out Dave Egan. So this is the thing about rally car drivers, right? They are just naturally very good drifters, but you could see progressively through the night, Josh just getting better and better and better. And I have also a theory that if Kevin Quinn lends you his drift car, I don't know whether they rented it off him or whether he just lent it to him, but I have a sneaky suspicion that if he's renting it, every time, Kevin must say, every time you hit the limiter, I'll give you money off. Because I seen this with Adam LZ last year. The first run out, Adam LZ came out, he just was driving it like a normal car, and then him and Kevin came out a run after, and the next thing Adam LZ was just bouncing the limiter. And as if Kevin was just going, right, see that right foot? Like, I don't want you to move that. So Josh was the same. He came out, done his qualifying run, done alright, and see as the night went on, hitting far more limiter and hitting, like, getting closer and closer. It was class to see. It just showed, but like, obviously Josh is a very, very naturally talented driver anyway. Like, he's a round winning rally driver. Like
Cali Roving Paris, sure.
Perfect example as well.
He's WRC champion, and then he does a 99-point qualifying run in
Drift Masters. Exactly. But like, you see that with Josh. So like,
sure, Stephen Halford, he went and done, was it autocross?
He done autocross to get seat time in his car, but that was very smart of him. More on Stephen in a bit. Tomas Kelly come out then.
Yes.
Big fan of him. He was going very, very well as well. And then
his car with that new kit looks deadly.
Unbelievable.
It's the same kit as you get in Car X.
That's right. That's right. It was class.
We are big drifters.
Yeah, well,
on the PlayStation.
We were into the drifting, like. And then Chris Brady was.
We still can't take the first corner in
Mondello. No, same. Backwards off the track every time. Then Chris Brady came out, and Chris Brady I think Chris Brady's maybe leading in the points in the ADC this year.
He's our 32.
He's driving Lucky Day Competitions car. No offense.
Was that
no take? Nothing to me.
No take.
But there's a fella Ryan Hughes in a GT86 2J blue one.
Really, Tyler's going, buy my tickets. Buy my tickets.
It still had a number plate in the back of it. So I don't know whether it's a road legal car, whether this club's English or what.
I knew this was going to go up. I knew it was going to go up.
But he put Chris Brady out with some serious driving, and it wasn't like Chris was in an off day. Like, I was like, who is this guy?
Is that Terence Fury's old car?
Yes. It's Terence Fury's old car indeed. Then Clark Hatton and Matt Dern, I think you call him, they come out, and it was a battle of the V8 turbos. That was a great one to listen to.
Judging by the notes for this segment, you have an essay you wrote, which is very good.
Yes.
I should do that more
Then
often.
Stephen Hafferty come out, and his fuel pump went. And he was against Nathan Slowey, who was in Conor Mallon, who's part of the Limitless gang. Conor Mallon lent his car to Nathan Slowey. So all the rest of them, I was like with Andrew and all them ones, and like they were all taking videos of Nathan's car, and I was just sitting there going, "Go on, Stephen, go on, Stephen, put him out." So it's just like trying to imagine being like a Man United supporter in a sea of Arsenal fans, or sea of Man City fans or something. You're just sort of being like, "Go on, the boys." So very quietly
in the background.
So me everywhere I go these days.
Yes, pretty much. Then Josh Holdsworth MX-5 broke.
What happened this time?
I don't know. There's smoke coming out of it or steam. One of the two.
Well, it's for Japfest next weekend, so it
Yeah,
must
so
be
it
too
mustn't
broken.
have been too bad. And then I have written here, Josh Moffat not scared of limiter bashing. And he was not scared of limiter bashing. Then Lee Scott wasn't driving as the Lee Scott, but he was in an SR20. He was an underpowered car. He was an S13 SR20, a bit underpowered.
Borrowed car.
I don't know. It said Caldwell Plant Hire down the side of it, but I know he goes out with Ryan Caldwell's sister. So I don't know what the crack is with that. But anyway, he then did come on for him to beat Josh Moffat, and who was in Kevin Quinn's car. So he did the drive of his life. But then Dara Spencer, who to be fair is one of my favourite drivers in the country, put Lee out. And that was a tough one because I'm a big fan of Lee as well, and a big fan of Dara. And you're kind of going, shit, who do I go for here? So at one minute you're going, come on, Dara, and the next minute you're going, come on, Lee, and then it's kind of like, So then it was Dwayne versus Dara. So I'm a Dwayne McKeever fan as well, obviously. Like, I'm literally wearing the 25 t-shirt underneath this. And but Dara Spencer is someone since 2017 I've been a big fan of. So when he had the 323 and all, like, I can remember him from it, and he is an absolute pilot. So Dwayne put him out, but Dara pushed him every inch. It was class to see. And then at the end, it was Dwayne versus Tomas Cayley. And I was actually chatting to Tomas about this today. And he was saying, I was like, you hear you done well, you give Dwayne a good run. And he was like, he's like, it wasn't a good start. And he says, and I kind of messed up one of the transitions. And you could see Dwayne was captivating on this because everyone else seemed to struggle in the same place because Dara Spencer struggled at the exact same spot. Just where, like, I call it the figure of 8, into like the final wall run. Dwayne was sitting closer to anybody else, and that was where if the run was going the same every other way, Dwayne was getting it there. So in the end, it was Dwayne top of the podium, which it's a bit of a love story really, given the bad luck he's had, and he's winning on his home turf. So, you know, he literally lives 3 mile out the road or something from Tullyroan. So Tomas Cayley in second, and then it was Ryan Hughes in third in the GT86. So yeah, run on commentary, but I enjoyed it and I love Tullyroan, so I wanted to talk about it.
I've never actually been to Tullyroan.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah, even I've been.
See, under the lights, there's something just magic about it being under the lights.
It was nighttime whenever
Yeah.
I was there, years ago right now, but it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I was going, and then I was summoned.
Well, you can't.
Sometimes you just can't.
Disagree
Yes.
with that.
Well, like, I haven't actually had a full weekend off from farming in a long time. So I just enjoy the lie-in, to be fair, on a Sunday morning.
Sometimes
And
it's the
then
little
Sometimes,
things.
It's the simple things,
that's the
guys, in
simple
life
things,
that does, yeah.
Especially when you're nearly 30.
Yes, thanks very much. He's actually closer to it. He's closer to 30, so he is.
You just sound like my fiance. Literally getting a dig in every fucking chance she gets. I say anything, I'm well tired.
Honestly, I
can't
don't
say
know you that
anything,
well,
I'm
Tyler, but
close
fuck
myself.
you.
I know, no, I am close to myself. I don't even know where I was coming from. I'm close to myself, like.
27, you're seeing me just
27,
back. But like, and I'd be like, geez, I'm well tired today. I know you're nearly 30. Thank you.
Thanks for reminding me.
As if I didn't already know. The hairline's already telling me like as it
My
is.
body's already telling me that. Thanks very much.
I've pains in places I didn't think I could have pains.
Here, I went to barber's last week, obviously to get a haircut for the wedding, and went, holy fuck, where's it gone?
Oh no,
Like,
see up here.
And then it was like, oh, it's not too bad. And I was like, it just must be this lighting then. But holy fuck, where has the hair
I
gone?
took a picture one day. I took the camera and took a picture of the top of my head.
Oh, why
and
did you do that?
Took the camera down and just went.
I'm waiting in London for a hair transplant.
I was literally just looking at it going, right, Sky Scanner, book flights to Turkey. And I was just like...
Michael comes back with a redder head. So Michael has given us a very good commentary on what happened to Tullyroan. If you weren't there, like I wasn't there, now you know what happened, and you feel like you were there.
I was there.
Did I captivate the passion and all?
You did.
More passion,
I had a
more energy.
I could see it in front of me.
So
Class.
we made a total balls of introducing you, Tyler.
Yep.
What's crack?
Crack. Thanks very much for having me on. This is great.
You're the first one in the new...
And the
Yes.
new studio. I feel
Studio.
Studio. I actually did call it studio there. Did you hear that?
Quote unquote, I feel like royalty.
I did. I actually was going to say I do feel like I didn't
I'm telling you,
expect
see
to get
seats?
this kind of
They're deadly
treatment.
seats.
This is
If
class.
there's one thing that's happened since I've got here and Tyler's been here, this man here has just went full dairy.
I don't hear it. That just I didn't even notice.
You
notice it, like, but then you say I'm dairy, but I'm not.
But
I don't know. I don't know. Like
we tried to
either-
do Kevin Quinn accent one other episode.
Oh
and
God,
it was
I don't even
fu-
mind.
was
I don't
pure
even
full
know if
dairy.
I can't mind if that even made the podcast or not. I'm trying to think. I might have had to cut that out. And then I got told off for doing a Donkey 262 accent by Stevie. I was told never do another Donkey 262, and I was like,
Surprised you weren't like tied off for trying to do the English accent.
the Scotty Fernington. No one seemed to have an issue with that. But yet,
Like, I'd need to
Donkey's
hear
accent's literally not a far cry off my own.
No, it's not. It's
It's
really
not that far away.
No,
It's the same
really not.
broad old tinge like the old country heck like.
Country.
But like I'd need to hear somebody talking for a while before I'd actually, because
Pick
when
it
I
up.
was in
something
Fermanagh,
in my
like
head.
I was, talking pure Fermanagh. But anyway, so Tyler,
Yes.
there's no crack we obviously then.
No crack. Hey, I just appeared.
You appeared, I kind of showed you Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been here for a while, like.
Too long.
I've been here. Well, not say how long I've been here, but I've been here a long time. But no, I got a wee rundown. I got to look around to Sarah and stuff. And as I said, Mike, I've seen Sarah and posts and stuff before, and I've never seen it in person. But holy moly, what a build! Very impressive.
You thank Ali for that one. Like,
Very impressive.
He's going to pat himself on the shoulder.
We may or may not have got a run in Conor's Tylor.
may or may not have.
May or may not
hit
have.
the limiter. We were hit by the limiter. It got us. I fucking hate it when that happens. We were hit by the limiter.
We were hit by it. You know what? What a car too.
Unreal.
So I had a great wee evening.
Yeah.
I really did.
The highlight probably driving Conor's car.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that compared to your Sierra, but
Honestly, the thing I said to Tyler actually was literally, do you want to come out and run Conor's Type R? Let's not tell him.
Yeah.
But it's the most fun you'll ever have in a car.
And then when we got back to the street, he was like, "Oh, you know what? Conor's still not here. You know what? We'll just pretend that's not happened."
to be fair, when I left it off, I was like, look, if you are going to take a run to work or anything out there, which I would probably say don't, but like I can't
wouldn't do
stop
that.
you.
I wouldn't do that,
just
no.
put fucking 99 in it, and there's actually a litre of oil in the back seat. So I have a wee box with
Yes.
like oil and all that kind of.
I actually said that. We were coming.
I did.
we were
asked
coming
that.
around the corner and you could smell it. I goes, oh,
Yeah.
he's got 99 in this.
I know it's not running anything else, but anyway, sorry, we are not talking about ourselves here.
Yeah.
So Tyler, obviously, what do you do for a living then? Sorry, not obviously, Annan, but what do you do for a living then?
I'm a hairdresser.
Right.
Let's start from the start, right?
Start from the start.
So let's start from the start because that's always probably the best place to go from.
I have a bit of a crazy life.
Right.
Wee bit of a crazy life. So, I have just loved cars. Just always had a lot. Not even just cars. I don't know. There's something in my head. I just think it's amazing how things work and see just engines and even like how cars move and everything. Like even just every machinery and every. I just think it's.
I get that.
I just.
Is there anybody else in your family that was big into cars too?
So, my dad was always car mad.
Yes.
Daddy drove lorries and done his all his own mechanicking. So he always had a massive garage in the house where he would have done his own mechanicking. So like.
Needs must.
Needs must. Yeah. So he done all his own work. He always would have worked at my ma's car and his own car and stuff, and he had a Ford Corsair
Right.
Do you know what a Ford Corsair is? V4 Ford Corsair. That
No
was
idea.
the only car. Daddy had 4 Waynes, and he was driving a lorry, so he didn't really have enough money to have like a real project, nice, big, fancy, swanky car.
She's always in a lorry, probably.
Carrier. So Daddy's Corsair was about the only thing that I sort of had different.
Yeah.
But I was sort of reared on the cars. He always loved cars. Anytime he was out in the shed, I was like hanging over his shoulder and like, right, what's that? What does that do? I was always a wee weirdo. Do you remember when Nintendo DSs were a thing?
Yep.
Yes.
In school, back when those were a thing, I was like all the rest of the girls had their wee DSs with like Nintendogs. I was sitting in the corner playing Need for Speed, showing everybody like the garage with like all the cars with the neons and stuff. I had like an R32 and everything. Like I was always on me. I was always on me. Done a bit of work experience. Then when you got to high school, went to a garage, which was I was obviously the only girl went to a garage for work experience. Loved every minute of it. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to work at garage. I actually applied to do a bodywork course and I got accepted for that. And then I got accepted for the mechanicing course just like a week later. And I was like, right, what do I do here? Like there's 2 completely different life paths. One for the mechanicing and I done my apprenticeship mechanicing. So, and then I worked in the garage and so 6 years. 6 years I was on Ford in Brown and Days in Claudy, so it's a local garage. Serving time, done 6 years there, and then I went up to Oma. I was in transit centre in Oma.
So literally working on vans.
Working on vans,
Jesus
all heavy
Christ.
vans and Rangers and pickups and farmers, and I'm sure you can imagine.
So you're working on the vans. Were you working on the 2.2 transits?
Yes.
How many of them come back with injector problems?
Every single one of them.
I well believe
Every single one, and they were always seized on. Always had to get an engine. Then Ford just kept sending us engines. Like we were doing at one stage, I would have been doing at least 2 engines a week.
I well believe that.
At least.
It's one of our mates, Killian. He seems to end up doing a lot of transits,
notorious.
Yeah,
it's just, and then they actually did. They sort of like filtered out the teething problems, and then the 2-litre engine came out.
Yep, that's right.
And then they just crapped themselves.
So they're literally a fix or repair daily then?
Yeah, that's what they are.
They always say anybody that ever tells you how bad or how good a transit is has always bought them new.
Yeah.
They always say anybody that rant and raves about how good a transit is.
And then they sell it before the problem start.
They sell them at like 80k.
Sometimes that's obviously whenever we were working, we were doing a lot of warranty work and stuff, but majority like the new ones are coming on, like we'd have vans coming on with like 10,000 miles, C solid.
Sure, you even heard that about.
Yeah, that was my reaction too.
I'm a Ford fan, but I would have heard even like the Rangers would have give wild hassle. The 3.2s apparently,
Well, that's EGR colours.
Yes,
and they would have started like putting the water and the like the head and stuff, and like oh my god, they were just like and everything, just anything and everything went wrong.
Well, like that's now I seen one very recently. You know the way like Ford and VW done the partnership now, where the new Transit Connect is the same as Caddy, so it's actually a Volkswagen.
And the new Rangers are based on an Amarok.
The Amarok's
they all
actually
have
a
Ford
Ranger.
engines.
That's what it is. Yes.
So like.
This is the problem.
Yes.
They all have Ford engines.
Yeah.
And it's even
a VW
the
with a Ford engine just sounds like a bad nightmare.
It does sound like a bad nightmare, doesn't it? Like,
Now we have one of the old 2-litre Amaroks at home for the farm pickup.
Yeah.
And see the new Amarok, was obviously based in the Ranger.
Yeah.
It's fucking massive in comparison.
Really?
Like it is a total brute of a pickup. Now you know whenever the Amarok came out, like it was known as the businessman's pickup.
Yes,
You know, like you
Definitely
did not have
is.
a farm.
It's like the travelling salesman.
Now obviously that has moved to a 90 Defender.
Aye.
Like they are a cool bus.
They are cool. I really like them.
Took a long time for them to grow on me, but I'm finally sold on them.
I actually was at the start too. I was like, ugh, but no, I love them.
Because
I absolutely love
the
them.
fella
now.
I work to has like an old British Racing Green Defender.
Yes.
And like she's 2006, but she may as well be 1966.
Yeah.
Like same
There's
thing.
like
literally,
there's no comfort in
There's
the
no
whatsoever.
comfort. You sit like your driving position.
40 mile an hour is like, holy shit.
Holding on for dear life.
55 mile an hour, you think you're breaking the sound barrier. Like, honestly, it's literally like
all the steering and you're going nowhere.
It's like Jesus, it's wild warm in here, and you literally just pop open a vent that literally eats air in from the outside. Like it's just literally, it's opening a window nearly.
You might as well be in the fucking, I don't know, a boat.
I think Defenders, you either love them or you hate them.
Aye, but the old ones, so when the new one come out, I was like, this is just wrong.
Yes.
Despite the fact that the old Defender is not a nice place to be.
No, it's definitely
Like,
not.
No one for the money they were going for. Like, it's just
and they're
absolute
wild
madness.
money now. Like
You couldn't buy them.
no, you couldn't buy. I know a fella who's like one of the old pickup versions.
Yes.
Like, and like I think he was offered good money for his, and he was like, no, it's too useful for me. Like, so he's gonna hold on to it.
We're actually doing up one. I never had any experience with Defenders whatsoever. I always just knew them as a farmer's thing. And then obviously when I started going with my other half, he's Defender mad. obsessed. So one of his fenders, the work one, the transfer box went on it. So we put it up in the loft. He took the transfer box out, and there's like a beam runs below the transfer box.
Yes.
As soon as you drop that down, there was no chassis there.
Yeah.
So he was like, right, you know what, we'll put a chassis in her, and then that turned into right, you know what, done a bit of YouTubing, OM 606. That's really well on them. So he sourced an OM 606, got it, and then we were like, right, you know what. Yeah, it just escalated. So the chassis then turned into, oh, you know what, we started stripping it down, and the bulkhead was like chewing gum. So I says, right, we now need a bulkhead.
I think that's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And you can
never heard that scenario. I've never heard that.
You've never owned a Ford?
You know,
True, actually, I've never actually owned a Ford, no. We've had a Peugeot pickup at home before, like, but...
Rod, 504 or something. Absolute rod.
Anyway.
So I had a Defender. So we started that. That was about a year. This was actually last winter. You know, just when a project starts, you're like full guns blazing.
Yes.
Every night of the week. And it was like winter nights. And our shed has got like a barn door on it. So it's not that well sheltered, but we've got a loft. So you're like 10 layers on you. The heater's on. You're getting smoked out with a smell. Turn the heater off. You know what? We're freezing. Turn the heater back on.
It's like,
see, in February when we started doing this.
Yeah.
It was fucking 5 layers on.
Yeah.
You were actually
You're
like,
something like a Michelin man.
literally. So you were like 20 minutes in. So the first 20 minutes, like, you were kind of alright, and then after that, there you were like,
was going, and
then you were like, lad, I can see your fucking breath.
Starting to shiver.
Literally, and we were wearing hats and everything, like, and it was literally, you're literally sitting there, and if there was any silence at all, you'd be.
Yeah, I think all sheds are like that though.
We are going to invest in heaters.
You're well sheltered though.
But don't forget, it's only October.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
and it's actually a good October.
True.
Come
was like 18 degrees today or something.
When you're back for round 2, like,
that'll be different.
It'll be different.
That'll
like,
be gravy.
We'll maybe do that just to sicken you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no bother. That's grand. I'll mind that. So well, obviously with the wedding and stuff coming up, like, there was thousands of pounds of parts bought, and then it was just sort of pushed aside, and then obviously it was taking up a loft. And I was still a mechanic, so I needed the loft, and all my jobs were being pushed to the side, and all my cars were like hanging together. And I just
so you do your work to yourself then?
I try not to, because I do keep busy with other things, but I do. You always get called for some jobs, and obviously I do my own stuff, and then all my friends are like, here, check my car over, do the wee service, and all these wee jobs always turn into bigger jobs, and then I'm just like, right, there's about 3 days work, and
I'm glad all my friends go to Killian.
You're as well. So I always tell myself I don't need this hassle, and then always end up taking on one job, and they're like, oh, you know what, I enjoy the wee bit of, because you do, see, because I'm not mechanic and now full time.
Yes.
I do enjoy a bit of like tinkering and stuff, like, but like, do you need the hassle at times? Because times I've been in the shed and I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
Especially if you've decided to take a look at someone's car and there's something worse about it, and then the next thing is you're like,
just escalates.
But then you're like, you need it, like, you're lying, maybe say they have a seized caliper.
Yes.
Right? And you're like, I literally can't return this car back to them.
Yes.
And then they're like, well, I have no way to go to work tomorrow.
Yep.
Are you in the position where you're like, fuck, maybe I need to give you my Golf to get to work or something like that there, because I have your car here?
Exactly. That's the way I feel. And then you're stuck in that limbo where you're like, right, if they were going to any other mechanic, they wouldn't be getting that treatment. So like, you just have to tell yourself, right, no, you just have to wait till the car's fixed. You have to be ruthless, like. Part of me's not like that, so.
And I'd be the same, like, not that I'm a mechanic by any particular means.
Well, I wouldn't even class myself as a mechanic. I can fix things, just about. But
I'm one of them boys that fixes one thing and breaks another 20.
Breaks another, yes, and the process.
It's an exponential effect.
So you are a mechanic. So what all cars do you have yourself?
Right, so I have, I'm trying to think, what have I had the longest?
What did you start with?
What did I start with?
What was your first car?
My very first car was a 90 brake Volkswagen Bora, Raven Blue.
Ooh.
Oh.
90 brake.
What? She was 90 brake. Was she not Lagoon Blue?
No, she was
definitely
Raven.
Raven.
She was definitely Raven
Okay.
Blue. Yes,
just
definitely
And what wheels on it?
Cans.
Yes, I know what cans are. 5-spoke.
Yes.
Deadly.
Are they the like Jappy sort of style looking wheels?
They were like a flat star. There's nothing real swanky about them, like, but they came on her, and I thought, you know what, like, I lowered her on them, and I thought, you know what, they actually look alright.
19s?
Yes.
Would have been.
I think I know what wheels you're on about. Yes.
So that was my first car. She was stuck in lap mode 24/7. So 90 brakes.
Same as my Bora.
Yep.
My Bora was the same. My Raven Blue Bora was the
You'd have
same.
been going to the felt on a Saturday night and then going home over the Glen Shane would have took at least 40 minutes.
Aye.
Like, I mean, like, there was lorries overtaking me.
Yeah, my bore was the same. As soon as it was
But sure, you were an hour driver possibly there.
I was
yes,
our driver.
Exactly.
So
you couldn't do any more than 45 minutes there.
Actually, during the turbo, we went in my car, and I remember like you were driving up the M2. I was heading to uni in her, and like you'd suddenly just come on boost. She'd go into limp mode. You just turn the car off and on again.
Yeah,
the
wee flick of the key, and you would
Keep
get
her
maybe
going.
about 2 minutes, and then she'd be doing the same
Mine
thing again.
would, so mine, as soon as it just worked out in 6th gear, as soon as you hit 72 miles an hour. She was a 130. So like I drove the car like that for a year because I was only going to uni once and back during the week, or like I was heading up on a Sunday night, back again the Friday. Car, I had the Sierra and I had the 306 during that time as well. So
you didn't need a fixer.
So I didn't need a fixer. Like,
well,
ironically, sure, it wasn't clocked.
No, only 48,000 taken off her at one point.
I know you put in. No, I got way lucky here. This thing isn't even clocked.
I'll tell you the proper story.
Okay,
I'll go for it.
So I bought her whenever I done the check on her. The check only went back to 2010.
Right, okay.
And the mileage all added. She was no 2 car, and the mileage all added up. And I was like, fucking happy days. So then we were talking about clocking cars in the group chat, and I posted and saying, I don't think mine's dead on. I don't think mine's grand. Like, I checked it from 2010. She's fine. It's dead on. And one of the boys goes, what's your age? And he goes, I hate to tell you, but this check here says from 2008. You might want to look at this. And I was like, and then like in 2008 she was 133 or something like that, and in 2009 she was 80 something. And I was just like,
many miles did she have on her when you got her?
149.
So 200k.
Yeah,
so she's a 228. Whenever I get rid of her, she had about 228k.
But for those engines, that was nothing.
Anyway,
yes.
Well, I went from that. So that was 90 brake Stone Crusher.
Yes.
I got a Mark IV Golf, so it was a Jazz Blue Mark IV at 130.
Oh, very nice.
GT TDI, and I thought I was a rally driver. I thought this car is unbelievably fast. So I went from that, and I had that. She broke down 3 times a week, if not more. She was an absolute dog.
Did she come out of Kilray?
She came from Tandragee.
Oh, way down the country.
I think. She
Good
was
old
out that
Armagh.
direction. So I should have knew. She was all like, I bought the Bora Standard and done it myself, but this one was already done up. So she had the RS6s, 19-inch RS6s. She was month. She was actually unreal.
Jazz Blue's a class colour in them.
Dog, like,
unreal.
My sister is a welder, and she had actually started welding soles on it like the week I got it, because there's no floor there whatsoever. So we were off to a good start.
Did you look at it before you bought it?
I did, but it was
nighttime?
absolutely lashing with the rain. Like, I mean, it was like a tropical rainstorm, which is just typical when you go to buy a car. Because I actually had my dad on with me that day too, and we're like, you know what, it's grand, like, it'll do. But I didn't even have that car a year.
Funny, I bought my Bora when it was lashing as well.
Yeah, you do. You just get, it's always typical.
Yeah.
So I didn't even keep that a year, and then I got an S40 Volvo.
Mint. Rod.
The best car I have ever
absolute tank.
owned. I would go back to a Volvo tomorrow. I love for Volvo, and I had that car for, I would say, about 5 years.
Unreal.
Unbelievable car.
That is quite the story. I went from a Jazz Blue Mark IV to
an S40 Volvo.
An S40 Volvo.
Yeah, a real like family car.
What possessed you to go to a Volvo?
I just thought they were class looking. Their design. I just thought they were deadly.
What colour was it?
Red.
I think I made no
To
that
be fair, is it the
red one lowered?
Red one lowered, and then I put the Medusa alloys on it because she came with like the standard Volvo ways. They were just like the same thing, like a big silver star. And then I love them Medusas because most star designs come with the Medusas, so it's like a big multi-spoke. But she didn't, so I got Medusas and painted them grey, so she was lowered down on those.
I think I remember that car.
Is it the C30s, the smaller? Like
C30s, we chopped back on it. Yeah, the S40s. They're class too.
I used to work with a boy that had a bag C30. That was unreal.
They're such. I couldn't sing the praises enough for those cars. Unbelievable. I would buy another one.
2.4?
No, I had a 2 litre. But you can't get the 2.4. Like the 2.4's now on one.
But were they basically a Mondeo at that time?
Yeah. Ford Focus.
Focus.
Basically the
Focus Saloon, nearly.
Focus Saloon. Because it's the same suspension, same chassis. So it was a piece of pus to work at. She was so easy to service, easy to maintain.
Fords would be handy to work at.
Oh my god, they're unreal.
Because you need to be.
Because you're strapping them down like all the time.
Right, time for its weekly rebuild.
Yes.
To be fair, I've been watching.
I'm actually telling that. I actually had to rebuild that engine.
Great car.
Lovely.
Great car.
Never broke down.
I was going home from work one day and she dropped the belt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
I was literally.
If you weren't a mechanic, you would be fucked.
I know. That's what I mean. See, over the years, like, even if I hadn't fixed anybody else's car, it's just my own shit. I've saved myself a fortune. So I was literally 5 minutes from the house, and she just died. But she was still taking. No, she stopped taking the rev, but she was still running. And I was like, right, okay. Just so happened I had the computer in the passenger seat, and I plugged her in, and it was coming up something about the camshaft sensor. And I thought, right, must be a broken wire. Got her towed back to the house, and of course I needed her to go to work the next day. I was working on Oma at this stage.
Yes.
And I was like, right, I need this car. Started chopping it down, and I checked everything, checked all these wires, and I thought, right, must be this, must be that. Came back with nothing. I thought, you know what? I actually rung one of the boys I used to work with and ran past him, and he says, oh, did you take like the throttle and blah, blah, because they had the wee actuator flap, and sometimes they give baller. And I said, no, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take this timing cover off, just as soon as I got off, the filings were everywhere. And I was like, I was on the phone, he was still on speaker at this stage. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hang up now, and please don't ask me what's wrong with this car. And that was it. And I had to stop it. But you know what? She actually didn't she broke all the wee followers. She's like a non-interference, so she did all the wee followers, broke all the followers. And I strapped her right down. I got the head and all checked. And
so your pistons didn't have a boxing match with your valves in?
Nope.
You're all right
she
then.
saved herself. What a car. What a car. So there you go. If you ever want a car that...
If it breaks, it doesn't break too bad.
It doesn't break too bad. That's what I was trying to say.
It breaks your heart just a little.
Just a wee bit.
Just enough to be uncomfortable.
I would still buy another one. Loved it.
Man.
Like dumping a woman you haven't married doesn't take half your shit.
Yes.
Fair.
So then I got rid of that, and I got the A7.
Yes.
I got an A7, which it's a great car.
But
I'm just not like
into the modern stuff.
Aye.
What year is she?
2015.
She'd be the year before they changed a lot of the technology and that shit on them.
She's a facelift, so she's got like the new headlights, the new tail lights, and all. Like, she's
why do you not drive that everywhere?
She is so comfortable, but I don't know. She's lowered down, ever lowered, right? And she's on 21.
Aye.
Yes.
So a lot of ones
which
do,
is not that wild practical. But I love driving her, but she's not practical. She's so big, like you can park her nowhere. She's so...
Golf just goes everywhere.
Golf goes everywhere. I got the Mark IV then. Actually, I bought an ST Mondeo before I got the Mark IV to run the work, and then changed that and got the Mark IV. So actually...
So when do you drive the A7?
Just some days when I want a bit of a comfort.
Is the Mark IV's not lowered? No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, does I?
Of course it is.
Oh, does I?
Everything's lowered. That's actually a good story. I wasn't going to do anything to the Mark IV, and then the suspension was all done. Like the shocks were complete. Like if you were going around the corner, she was like bouncing around the corners.
Booty.
Oh my god, I've never seen anything
like.
as dangerous. So I was like, right, I may as well put coilovers on because I can put her down a wee bit. So I got a set of coilovers, and then she needed a steering rack because the steering rack was leaking. So I was like, right,
standard.
I put a second hand rack in,
Done
and it leaked about a week later.
That happened me as well. Yep.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet and get a new rack. Want to fit the new rack, and I was strapping it. I was actually, the lift was preoccupied with the Defender, so I was on the floor. I had it jacked up, seen a hole in the subframe, and I was like, are you fucking shitting me? So I thought, you know what, if I'm getting that far, I may as well put a subframe on her. So I got a subframe. Of course, then needed new wishbones because the wishbone bushes was away.
Yep.
Everything was all new. And she needed... Now, there's no handbrake, so she needs a caliper now in the back, which is notorious again for golfs.
This just sounds like my Bora.
It's just a Mark IV. Like, it's just Volkswagens, but you know what? Like, why do we love them so much? Because...
They are still class cars. Like, my Bora's like sitting on a cloud. I haven't her lowered yet. And probably
You still burst this up though?
I've still done a song.
How is that even doable?
Hit a brick on the road.
Well, that would do it.
Aye.
That would do it, yeah.
At night time, you didn't see it because the lights are shit.
That would do
Yep.
it. Yeah, wee tea lights.
Yeah.
So sounds about right.
I burst the something my old 130, the Raven Blue. I done it in style. I broke an engine mount. I busted something that hard.
Done that myself too. Yeah.
I came on and had a bump on the road, and the wheels went into a dip.
Yeah.
And the engine didn't.
Yes.
Engine went.
Engine left the grip chat.
It just deleted itself. Like it literally, it was just like
fuck.
Oh no! How about no?
Literally, it's just like, see ya.
Yeah.
And I just went. I remember opening the bonnet, and like I was going to the fellow who I did a bit of work for, and on the farm, you know, and I pulled into his yard, just this big trail of oil following me, and popped open the bonnet, and the engine was literally lying on one side, and we just went,
something not right there.
It's not meant to look like that. Close the bonnet.
What we can do with that?
Had to get it forklifted onto a recovery lorry then, or a trailer then.
That is an absolute pig. That happened to me one time too. Actually happened to me twice.
That's
with the same car.
I'm going to assume the 130, the Jazz Blue one.
No, it was actually the Bora.
The Bora?
Yeah, it was actually the Bora.
Was the dog bone when you broke her in it?
Aye. Yeah.
Aye.
It was a dog bone mount, and then like
I done a drive shaft as well. It was that bad.
That was a nasty one. No, I done the sump. Just
sump,
the second time
engine
round,
mount, and drive shaft.
You done it right.
Oh fuck!
No
As I
half
say,
measures.
literally the road like went up, down.
If it's going to go
level,
wrong, it's going to go wrong.
and it was literally like if I had been going faster, I might have actually cleared it. But because I slowed down.
So the whole topic is you're just too slow a driver.
Aye. Pretty much.
Too cautious.
I've just realised I'm not rash at all.
Have you know?
You're just dealing with two people that probably have ADHD.
You know what? I just think we just buy crap. I have an addiction to buying.
No, we buy
shite.
great cars.
Yes, with every good intention, and then they just be like, no, fuck you.
Or you're like, buy good cars in theory.
I think we just have
That's why I did buy a good car, and then I just like bought a shit car as well, and then I refused to drive the good car
I think it's like
to keep it good. Like,
I think we just love red flags.
yes, aye. Like,
It's like you look at the mileage history. you look at the mileage history, and you're like, like there's some not right about that, but it's a nice enough car. I'm sure it'll be all right. Steering feels a bit funny. I'm sure it's grand. You look on below her, and literally every bushing's hanging. You're just
completely gone.
Aye.
This is going to be a big. This is just going to turn into like.
Well, like I drove my first car for 9 years, and all it done for me was drop links, and I had it decked. I had it completely decked.
It was slammed like
I was.
You never done a clutch?
What was it?
A Polo.
993 Polo. Done like 178,000 miles in the same clutch.
She's still actually going. She's in Korea now. And she's still in the original clutch. She's seen once.
Drop links every year.
Literally, adjustable drop links every 2 years.
You put 3 sets of coilovers there?
Yes. 3 sets of coilovers. And they're that low at the back.
I'd be happy with that though, if that's all that went wrong. Like,
she was that low at the back.
They
The
were like
actual
Pro
lip,
Sports.
the lip of the wheel. John's and Pro Sports. Both.
Mixing them up here.
It was whatever was
whatever was cheaper.
Yes. And funny, as soon as they went in, I had the helpers obviously were not there.
Yeah.
And the bottom adjuster was like off the threads, and the top adjuster so the bottom one was pushed out, so it wouldn't hit the wheel.
Okay.
And then the bottom adjuster was right down in 2 threads.
Isn't it oily when you remember all this?
She actually was chassis notch. She was that low.
What's the crack with chassis notching?
Why?
I've never done it, but like, how is that legal?
Linear bore mustn't have been that low.
No, it wasn't. Jane, it wasn't.
So my front drive shaft, the driver's side,
You turn a corner.
it bit.
Yeah.
It tapped for 3 years.
Yeah.
I had to turn right as I had a bad bump, so it didn't do the fucking drive shaft. And then I ended up getting her notched, and she never done a thing.
Notch is fine as long as it's safe. You have to reinforce it.
Yeah, I know.
Has to be reinforced.
Like I passed the MOT, alright.
That baffles me.
But you're the one that sees them.
I know, that's what I see them all the time, but it just baffles me how that's legal.
It's
like airbags are legal with no anti-roll bar in them.
Yeah, because
that actually baffles me as well.
Well, not
There's
really.
some things
They can counteract themselves, so it actually stabilizes the car.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
I don't run an anti-roll bar, but I have compression struts. Does that? You know what? Maybe we'll talk about this off air.
We'll not get too in depth on that because.
So what about the Sierra then?
What about the Sierra? Yes. So
how did you end up getting the Sierra?
How did I end up getting the Sierra? I always wanted something fun. So it was at the stage when I had the Volvo and I didn't have anything else, and I was like, you know what? Like I want something. I'd saved
something
up a
else.
bit of money.
I'll break my heart.
I was still working the garage.
Was
and
it always just the Sierra you were going for, or was there a mixture of cars?
I had no intention of a Sierra. I didn't even like. I'm going to jinx myself, but I didn't even like Sierras. I know. I liked them, but I wasn't a fan.
And the podcast is over.
Yes,
See you then.
I know. On that bombshell.
But what did you want to go? What was the first thought?
I wanted a Mark II Escort.
Aye.
But obviously, my apprentice funds would not cover a Mark II Escort.
True. What colour?
Any colour. I would have took anything.
Even a 4-door 1.3.
I would have took anything. And I also wanted a Subaru Impreza, but that would never happen either. That is still on the cards.
Good job, you know how to mechanic.
That's still on the carriage, but maybe just not anytime soon.
Not an Evo over...
No, Subaru Impreza all day long.
Wrong.
Subaru Impreza all day long.
Evo.
The noise of an Impreza.
No.
Now, there's somebody near me that has one as a Hawkeye.
Yes. No, I'll blow by all day long.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, Hawkeye all day long. Like,
no.
So,
I'm getting outnumbered.
My sister, so like, I think she used to maybe dance with her or something, but there was one of the teachers in my school that drove a Hawkeye brand new. So when I was first year, one of the teachers was driving about and yeah. Wow. But anyway, that's that story over.
Yeah.
I just think if you want to own a Subaru, you're just glutton for punishment.
No,
which will suit you the very best.
Yes, it's just my track record.
a Type R 22B or that shape. That
Right,
is the
okay.
nicest shape, I think, of the Subaru.
But good luck.
I know, but you can't buy them. Like, you had to
Couldn't buy
be.
one. Even Hawkeyes are dear.
Everything's dear. So expensive.
I think as long as you go for we're getting a bit technical here, the EJ20 engine, which is a 2 litre,
Yeah.
I think you're all right. The 2.5s, which comes in the later of the saloon ones, like maybe the last of the Hawkeyes, and in the hatchback,
Yeah.
they're a horrible engine.
So you hear so many horror stories. Like,
to be fair, I'm full of shit. The hatchbacks are deadly.
They're a cool stance car.
They are cool.
They're a cool stance car.
At the same thing, see when they came out, I was like, no, but they are really, really cool. I do like them.
I remember when the Evo 10 came out. I originally was like, this is revolutionary. And then now I look at the Evo 10 and go, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
It's like, I look at Evo 10 and I see an Evo 9 and I'm just like, how did we go from here to here? And then we just have nothing.
Like, Evo 7s are really cool to see.
Yeah.
But Evo 9s are like the pinnacle.
Oh,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
So then, right, back to Sarah.
Back to Sarah, yeah. So wanted a Mark II Escort, obviously couldn't afford one, and I was like, what else could I have? And then at that stage, like, Sarah's weren't mad money, but they were getting more and more like of a big
When
thing.
did you buy yours?
5 years ago. So what was that be? 2019.
Should have been 4,500 probably.
2018. I was 2018. I bought her.
2018.
2018.
She's probably about 4.5, 5 would have got you a good one.
Well, you're going to actually laugh at this. So I was on Gumtree and I seen this silver one, and she was she's a Gia, so she was well spec'd.
Should be the top
She
of
was
the
out in
range.
England.
Yeah.
She was an ex-DLA car, so she had only like 40,000 mile on her from new. He had full service history, everything.
Seriously?
Oh,
Jesus.
Folders upon folders of paperwork, and rung him up, and it was a boy from Ireland, like down south. And lovely fella. He worked out there, loved out there, and he says, here, love this car. I'm just looking to, he was upgrading. He was looking 2,900.
This is back when they were still cheap in England.
2,900, and I went out and I really insulted him, offered him like 23, and he was like, no, maybe in the model. So I gave her 2,500, and I drove her home.
Are
And
they
then-
quasi-kitted then? Like,
No,
that wasn't,
no.
that was, she was just Gia spec, like.
I have
but,
actually no
you
fucking
don't know.
notion.
I got a set of causies out there for like £800 or £900.
Aye.
Lofted them on the way home and drove her home, and she was sitting on I just put the causies on her, but I didn't drive her for ages. Like, I just had her in the shed, obviously trying to get insurance and all that sort of stuff, because I was still only like 22 at this stage.
Aye.
And a lot of places they're not insure the car
I
because she
found it
wasn't
hard to
classed
get-
as vantage.
Yeah, I found it
but
hard
at
to
the
get
same time,
insurance too
a
at the
lot of
start.
companies wouldn't insure me because I wasn't over 25. So
Yep.
all that shit. But anyway, at that stage, I was gallered up butts. So I was getting like a causey bumper, and I was getting side skirts, and I was getting a spoiler all gallered up. And then I had most of the stuff there. And then for a Christmas present, like I think it was the following year, my fella, he like went behind my back, took her and like completely done her up. Completely like painted the kit, got her all kitted, lowered her down. I had the coilovers, I had the gas coilovers and all sitting
You've
ready to go.
gas, have you?
I had the most of the
Evo
stuff
now?
there, and then
Well,
I think the only thing I didn't have was the side skirts, and he had all that gathered up, and he got it all painted and stuck on her as a Christmas present. So I woke up on Christmas morning, and she was sitting outside my window, completely kitted, buried, everything.
Unreal.
And I was like, there's videos of me crying,
That's
looking out the
class.
window. I was like, is that my car?
You're
That's
like, get the
unreal.
ring now.
I know.
But do you know what? Do you know what is sickening for you? Is it my car I got mine? I was telling you
Yeah.
anyway. Like my Sierra, I swapped the D Turbo £900
Yeah, that's crazy.
for mine in 2015.
Yeah.
And like you paid £2,900 for a standard car.
Yep.
My car had a causey front bumper. Now
Everything.
granted, it didn't have the skirts, but it had it was a 2 litre twin cam. It had all the stuff like
Just shows you, like, see when a craze starts. Like, I got mine. I know you said you definitely got yours at good money. Like, that's, to me, in my head, like, this is awful. I shouldn't even say this, but that's what they're worth in my head. Like, in my head, they're still.
I agree.
They're
yeah.
not like, I think they are made out to be a lot better than what they are.
A mint 2 litre twin cam now, like a mint standard 2 litre twin cam, $6,500.
All day long, if not more. Like,
Aye.
see the price. Every time I see an ad on Facebook, I'm screenshotting and sending to the other half, and I'm like, here, this thing is worth a clean fortune. And like, I know she's stand you a couple of grand by the time you do all that work to them, but it's crazy. Like, I don't think they're worth what they are, but at the stage,
completely
she's
agree.
costing me nothing. She's sitting there. I would have changed her 2 or 3 years ago. But he kept saying to me, no, you know what, keep it there, it's cost you nothing, just keep her there. And you know what, she's went up thousands since.
No, the only thing I'll say is, see, for me, with the money that my car's
Yep.
seen, is it now is kind of the price hikes nearly making my car seem not totally
Yeah, not
ridiculous
mad,
anymore.
yeah.
Like 2017 when I started doing mine up, and the money that I was concerned, people were like, "You're absolutely crazy."
Yeah.
And I was.
But you were at the time, but now
still am when I think of the money I spent. There's some like $7,000 of mistakes in that car. You know, when you think about stuff like that, you know, and what you could do with £7,000.
You couldn't tell you though.
No.
And the thing is, the thing is, I had to do everything myself originally too.
Like if I was I would not be attempting. I'd just be like, right, I have this idea.
Yep.
But you were like, I want to prove this.
I got her up and going. I couldn't get the gearbox to work, and it turned out there was a bit more work needed done than I originally thought with that. Like, as I said at the time, all the stuff was buy something and then adapt it yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can get the sumps, you can get engine mounts,
people manufacture all that now.
You can get the gearbox adapters, the full kit, everything out. But there was none of that back in 2017 when I started. Like, even converting a Sierra.
So you were working blind. You were just winging it.
Even converting a Sierra to hydraulic clutch at that time was something that I just
wasn't done.
It just wasn't really done. Martin Flanagan was the only other boy that done it, and the pictures he'd taken weren't really great pictures. That's no discredit to Martin. Just that's the way it was.
Just the way it was.
Like, whereas I know now, if I was to do it again, I would know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But no doubt, the brain would still kick in and go, you need to get this finished right here, right now.
Yeah.
And you need to have it done, and I would still end up rushing stuff.
You'd end up rushing it.
So
see, that always comes on, I think, but here
that's why I couldn't do painting.
I think sometimes things like that you just have to accept, right, you know what, I'm just better getting somebody else to do this for me.
Well, there's one thing, in comparison to you, I'll not do it into my car unless I can drive it home whenever I'm finished, like that day. Genuinely. So, like, I don't know, like I bought my car with 74,000 mile on it, and there's now over 100k on it, and I've only had it just over 2 years. I drove just everywhere.
You just drove everywhere.
Drove through the winter.
So, like, I have probably done more miles in 1 year, and you've done your A7 since you got it.
1,000%. Yeah.
But
I think that's good the way people do that. Like, my Sierra at the time, I actually had her obviously when I had the Volvo. When the Volvo lay down, I used the Sierra as my daily to drive up and down to work.
I was using my Sierra
I was mechanic
for
in Noma. I needed to get to my work.
Yeah.
And I was driving the Sierra day in day out. I probably shouldn't have been because I put like crazy miles in the space of a couple of months. But you know what? I needed to. At the end of the day, it's a car. It has to. You have to drive it. But she's still sitting now with low miles on her, and she's sitting there now that she's lovely to take out at the weekends. So no, I got her, and then changed the Volvo and got the A7. So that's my car history. I haven't really had that many cars, but.
So let's talk tricked out tractors.
Yes, that all came on. Yes, that sort of came on next.
And I'm going to check what time we're on because I just want to see how much I have to edit.
It's only like 25 past 8.
Oh, fuck.
10.
Far too much.
But we've still loads to talk about.
We've still loads to talk. We're only like scraping the surface here.
Fuck, you're an interesting character. Like,
I know, where do we even start? So tricked out tractors.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. That came out of nowhere. So at the time, I was working in the garage in Oma. I got this random message request on Facebook from a girl, and it looked like a completely fake Facebook profile, but it was like pretty much, I work for this TV company called Green Ink up in Belfast.
I've dealt with Green Ink, yeah.
Yes, I hadn't heard of them. And I thought, right, okay. And I was like, oh, we're doing this new TV show. It's all about tractors, mechanic, and we'd love you to be on it. We found you. I had done a video for Young Apprenticeship, NIE or something. Yeah. It was on YouTube. So they were like, here, we'd love a girl mechanic. We came across you. And I actually seen the message, and I thought, that's the biggest load of fucking shit. Because I would get a lot of weird messages. I'm sure you can imagine.
Fair enough.
I want to get onto that in a bit.
So anyway, I just put it to the back burner. And you know what? I would say a full week passed, and that message was still in my head. I remember I drove home one day, and I was just on the outskirts of Claudia, and I got my phone signal on my phone, and I thought, you know what? I looked it up on Google, the Green Ink, and I thought, I'm going to bloody ring this girl. So I rung her, and she nearly fainted. She was like, I don't think you were going to get back to me. And I says, well, I wasn't really. I said, I'm just pure, I don't know what kicked in. I just felt as if I needed to ring you. So rung her, must have chatted for an hour. And she says, here, don't know what the idea is yet, but BBC are looking for like an agricultural show. We're going to test the water and try to do like a tractor restoration program. And I just said there, I says, here, before you even start, I have like 0 to no tractor experience. I know of tractors. I appreciate tractors. I know engines. That's about the height of it.
Yeah.
And she says, well, here, we don't expect you to have any experience. We just want a girl mechanic. And I was like, right, happy days. If that's all you want, no bother at all. So they came down to the house, done a wee interview with me. Thought I was grand, could chat, obviously. chat the back leg off anybody. Like,
no way.
I know you wouldn't think.
Didn't think that.
You wouldn't think. So from there it was born. Hey, they put the three of us together and we all met up. It was actually filmed in Banbridge in Stephen's house, and he actually did do a bit of tractor restoration. So he's a big tractor fanatic. Darren Bailey, he does Bailey Machinery Sales. He is just tractors and machinery in the brain. He knows everything inside out, has contacts all over the world. He used to work for a farm magazine, so
right,
he
yeah,
knew
okay,
everybody.
yeah.
So hey, they sourced the tractors and we literally just turned up. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves on for, and we landed on like the first day and they handed us our scripts. They were like, oh, here, learn your lines. And we were like, I thought I was just like screwing at engines. And they were like, I know, but there's going to be some scenes and stuff. And I absolutely loved that show. I'm so glad I done it, but damn, it was hard work. It was damn hard work. So we had, in a series, we done 3 tractors. Yeah. We had 4 weeks to restore three tractors.
And what were the 3 tractors?
From start to finish. We done loads of different ones. So the very first one we done was, we actually done Darren Bailey's tractor puller. So Darren does tractor pulling. So we done his tractor puller. It had a Scania V8 engine on it.
Nice.
There wasn't much we could do with that because Darren already had it spec'd to his needs. Like, and obviously it was getting a lack of paint. We took the back duff out of it, just like locked around the duff and bolted back up again. There wasn't a wild lot of work done. That was the first episode. The second episode was Fordson Model F, if I'm correct. I'm really sure it was a Model F.
About 1940s?
Yes, 1940s. Yeah. It was prehistoric. So the boy that owned this found it with a tree growing up through the middle of it.
Standard, yeah.
So the TV production company thought this will look great in camera, and they brought it on, and we were like, do you have any idea how much work is on this? And they were chatting about, the owner said something about the engine needing redone and it needs like piston rings and stuff. So how long would you reckon? Like half an hour? And we looked at them and we were like, huh? Are you serious? And this thing, like, it hadn't turned. There was no wheels on it to even turn. That's how bad it was. I swear, like, I'm not even exaggerating. So failed head anyway. I knew what, we actually got a lot of help in for that, because obviously that engine, I hadn't a baldy notion. Like that was prehistoric. That was well before my time. So got a couple of ones on. We all fell to it. We actually had to outsource that in the end up, and it was a man, I can't even remember his name. He actually got the engine running for us and give her a full like of paint, and you know what, she turned out unbelievable. That was the second episode. The third episode was We International. I'm nearly sure that was the first series, and she turned out really well too. Again, it was TV spec, like it was, there's LED lights fitted there, and there was stripes put on it, and we got so much backlash about that. But TV world, like, it is, people don't understand TV world. But again, those episodes were half an hour long.
Did they sort of have the plan for it set out before? So you had
we had no say in it. They picked the tractors, they picked the theme. The owners themselves didn't really have a wild lot of say. They just said, here, I want it done to this spec, like either I want it standard or I want it whatever. Like that was the only say they really had.
Yes.
But we didn't have any say. Like we were just told this is what needs done. Like, so we just sort of fell to it. But even at that, you'd be doing a wee job. Say you were screwing the seat off. You had to do that 10 times because you had to put it on.
I couldn't do that.
Take it off, and then they'd have to do a wide angle, and then if you said something, they would have to film you saying that from loads of different angles, and then
that would kill me.
It was really hard work.
So I only think I make your life difficult, sir.
People, honestly, see people whenever they're sitting at home, like, it's all well and good for all these ones contradicting everything we done, but they had no idea the work that was going on behind the scenes. Like, we would start there at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was travelling 2 hours to even get there, like, at the weekend. So I was working in the garage Monday to Friday. Saturday morning, I'd be up at 5 o'clock to put the makeup on to head to Banbridge to do a full day's home. And I didn't leave Banbridge till about 11 o'clock at night. Drive the whole way home, to drive the whole way back up, and do the same thing on Sunday. Back in the garage Monday to Friday. Like, it was, and this went on for 4 weeks. We had to have that episode, that series finished. Like, that's people didn't see the hours. Like, for them 3 30-minute episodes, that was hundreds of hours worth of filming. That's hundreds of hours.
So then series 1 obviously absolutely fucking mental. And
series 1, it really did. We were like, us ourselves, we were like, we really didn't know if it was going to work or not. And then, like, it completely skyrocketed, and the BBC were like, we need another series, like ASAP. When can you get us another series? So we started filming, and then COVID hit. So we got like the first episode done, and then we had to take time off for COVID, and then we had to go back and we had to film, but we had to film social distance filming. And you can imagine that it just didn't work. It just was an absolute disaster. So we done series 2. We came back, and you know what we did? There was a lot of real good people were ranting and raving about, loved the show, but then there was a lot of like criticism that came on too. But we took that and we did adapt it. a lot of people were seem to say that like they didn't see us doing enough work, which was a big thing. But so we came back the second episode, and in my opinion, the second series, the second series was unbelievable. Like, it was so well done. So we done all the work ourselves. They filmed a lot. Like, they didn't interrupt us as much, so we literally just kept working, and they just filmed around us, and we were explaining what we were doing. And I thought the second series was unbelievable. So we done a Leyland, we done the wee Lamborghini, she was unbelievable. And we done, I can't remember what the other one was now. My head's gone blank. The Lamborghini was owned by a man from Essex, and he's actually the chairman of the Lamborghini club out there.
Yes.
So he ran this big Lamborghini show to do an unveiling, and I got to go out to Essex and do the unveiling. And Mr. Lamborghini himself, his nephew, was at the show, and we got to unveil it in front of him. So he's
Ferruccio is
Ferruccio Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So he was there, and I got to meet him.
Ferruccio is the main, was old man.
Ferruccio was the main one. This was Fabio, I think, was the nephew.
Maybe, aye.
So he was there. I got to walk around the Lamborghini show with him, and he got to point out like what cars he loved and what he loved about these cars. And there was a Lamborghini Miura.
Yeah, Miura, yeah.
That was his all-time favorite car, and he got to give me a tour around it, and he absolutely loves the Miura. And see, even that alone, like that to me, that was so surreal. Like, I never met anybody, and even to say that I've done that.
Yeah.
See, have you seen this face?
That's
like, it was absolute, and I have photos like of me chatting to him, and we got to do the unveiling of the tractor in front of him, and he was nearly in tears because to him that was his uncle's. That's where it all started. Lamborghini started with tractors.
It did,
and to see somebody to that caliber nearly brought to tears was just unbelievable. Like, it was such a monumental moment. So that was the highlight of I'm so glad I done it. It was amazing.
That's unbelievable.
Obviously they did want another series, but we all work full time too, so it's hard to get done. So we didn't get a series done this year, but I am hoping. A lot of people said to me looking more series, so I'm hoping it'll come out of somewhere. But
unreal.
I got nominated for a wee TV award for that as well. So I got debut presenter. I got nominated in the TV awards out in Edinburgh for debut presenter. Didn't win, obviously, but I got nominated, so I got to go out to London, and it was amazing. Yeah, so surreal. For me, getting a TV award, like,
you've quite the life now.
So that was the TV career. I was going to say it was short-lived. That's nearly 2 years of my life. Like, it was crazy.
That's unbelievable.
But everybody would still associate me with the tractors. Like, everybody would still call me, "Oh, you're the wee girl from the tractor show."
Yeah.
So it is. It's sort of monumental.
So then, from the tractors, tricked out tractors, then.
That led to Pristine.
That led then to Pristine. Okay.
So Pristine Competitions, that'll be local to me, so it's like they're literally like 2 minutes from my home house.
I literally thought they were near you.
I know. I don't know. They're no.
It's Limavady, isn't it?
Aye, apparently so. Well, not even Limavady.
Well, I only know because sure Grassman done the video until they're not. I wouldn't have a clue.
Claudy.
Clearly Claudy. So
you're still 20 minutes away.
Oh well. My geography is not doing
See when you go by Dungiven.
Yeah, go on.
Well, sorry, for us, it used to be when you went by Dungiven, it was all in one place. Yeah. Now, obviously, I have diversed.
You've got more. You should know now.
I see in this side, the other side of them, the dairy ones, as soon as they go past Dungiven, they just think, we're all the one. Yeah. So,
well, that's the way I would sort of think. Like,
I went to school in Mahara, so it was half Dungiven ones anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Everybody goes over the Glen Sheehan to go to school. So now, Pristine, I would know one of the girls, and she messaged me and was like, "Here, do you fancy doing a lot of videos for us?" And obviously, same thing. I didn't know what to expect. I knew Megan that done the videos anyway. And I says, "I know baller," and they says they were trying to touch more into the agricultural scene, and they were trying to do a lot more tractors, and then they obviously went on the lorries and stuff then. But I went up and done a couple of videos, and I thought, you know what, here, a couple of videos like sure to be handy. 2 years later, I'm still there. So. It's good. I absolutely love it because you like have no idea every week is different. Like, as I was saying to Michael earlier, like you could be jumping into a G-Wagon 1 minute and the next minute you're in a twin cam, the next thing you're driving this fast track. And
that's
then,
unreal.
That's anything.
Class.
Stuff you would never ever even dream of being able to drive. Like the amount of stuff I've just being able to drive down the road and you don't, it's mad because you go up to that shed now and there could be this Lamborghini sitting and you'd walk straight past it to go to Skyline sitting in the corner. Like you take that stuff for granted because you see it all the time. It's so weird. It's a completely different way. Like
totally take
it's hard to explain. I know, you know what I mean? it's crazy. It's absolutely surreal.
Have you bought many tickets off the back of Tylor?
Just in general. I try not to buy tickets now. I've kind of I ban myself every so often. So what happens whenever I buy tickets is I'm convinced that ticket I'm going to buy is going to be my winning ticket.
Yeah, and you have all these dreams made out and everything. I was always like that.
I literally have. I have it spent before I've even won, and then I don't win, and then I look at my life and just go, oh fuck.
I'd be
This is shit.
disgusted.
I'm too tight.
Are you a big tickets? You're not a big ticket buyer?
I buy the odd one, like, don't get me wrong. But like like 20, 30 pound a go, like it's not too long before like you rack up a few pounds.
At one point I worked it, I was spending £150 a month in raffle
COVID
tickets.
was the biggest. See, whenever obviously COVID hit, and I think we'd nothing else to do our money. I was the worst in the world because I was spending a clean fortune on raffle. All I'd done was buy raffle tickets.
I bought all the shit I have over COVID, like, and now I'm paying for it. Like, now life's went back and I have to drive to work and all again, and life's just got more expensive in general. And I'm literally sitting with a pile of broken down cars. Because as you say, you take as soon as you get a project, all guns blazing, you take to it, and then now it's lying in bits.
What I do now,
and you're just like. Or you've partially, so you're like, I need to finish that, and the car's driving, but you have like half a kit of stuff lying, and you'll get it at some point.
I'll put it to the back burner.
But then you don't because life gets in the way and you need to do everything.
Life goes on.
So, like, what's been the favourite thing you've done with Pristine?
Oh my god, I never even thought.
Favourite thing you've drove down the road?
Favourite thing I've drove
down the road? As you talk about.
Drove down the road. That's you picked that up. I didn't even realise I was saying that. Drove down the road. I
never noticed.
I actually don't know.
Most expensive thing you've drove down the road?
Most expensive.
Probably a Fendt.
Probably the tractors. No joke. Probably the tractors.
100%. Like.
They done a few lorries and stuff as well. But obviously nothing. They didn't do anything like brand new, like split new. But the tractors. Oh my god! Like every tractor they get is like either a 11090, which is worth colossal money. Michael's eyes is just lighting up here. Or like something like split new. And it's just out of the wrapper, and they're worth like. What does a new tractor go for? Like 150, 200 grand? Like,
easily.
And then
depends.
they're putting that way like a pile of machinery and trailers and stuff too, and you're just like...
Them competition packs are unbelievable.
That's very close to you.
That's very close.
That sounds like that's on your street.
And we're going to pause editing. Before we were rudely interrupted by some man deciding to light a firework. You honestly, it sounded like he did come onto my street, to be fair.
I thought he was at the door. Like.
No, like that's how close it did.
But I heard, then I opened the door and you could just hear it sound like a bore or something. Literally that sound just driving slowly up the road. And now we can hear like fireworks going off on up there.
Do you want to know the only thing we're actually missing, to be fair?
What?
Now is just like a fucking stool to put your feet on. You know, like there's.
If you want one, you can weld it yourself.
Well, it's only a thought, like.
I'm not against it. Just
I look like I want to do any work.
No. Anyway, as we were saying, Pristine.
Best thing I ever drove. I actually have. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Have you drove a Mark II Escort from it yet?
I have.
Would you buy one now off the back of it?
I haven't. I would still love a Mark II, but they're worth a hell lot more now than what they were 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like they just constantly keep going up,
yes.
and they're just getting more and more of the price range. But
I thought they were going to peak, but they
don't. Everybody always says that. Like I just don't see them stopping.
But like I'd say they were like the level above the twin cam.
Oh, aye.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, big time. A twin cam does not do it for me at all.
Really?
No.
I like a twin cam.
I do appreciate them, but I would never ever buy one.
Do you want to know what is actually full of like Mark IIs and stuff?
Yeah.
Farms around the country.
Yeah.
We were talking about this.
We were just chatting about that.
Yeah,
we were just chatting about this earlier. Like you see the sheds in the country full of, but see the amount of people obviously like through Pristine, contact Pristine and say, here, I have this for sale, would just be interested and stuff. See the amount of stuff that people would have, and you were like, where? Like I haven't seen one of them in years. Like where have you even getting that out of? Like some of the stuff is amazing. I love doing Pristine. I love it. The people you meet do it's amazing too. Like obviously,
can you buy tickets yourself?
No.
Oh, is that one of the stipulations?
We can't enter. So if you work for the company, you can't enter. Obviously, because if my name was drew out of the hat, like there would be such an uproar.
Oh, aye.
Like nobody. Like even.
Do you buy any raffle tickets from rival companies?
From other companies, I would. Oh, I would. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me at all. I would love to win. I've never won anything in my entire life.
I won my old Bora back. And I
way.
And I said if I won a raffle ticket, I would actually consider setting it on fire. And then I won it back. And then I went, no, do you know what? A fella literally said, I'll give you £700 for it. And I went, take it away.
You didn't even want it?
I didn't even want it.
You still made profit?
I did, £20 ticket.
I would buy, I used to buy a lot of tickets. I don't know why, but since I started working in Pristine, I don't buy as many.
Probably because you've seen...
I've seen a lot of things. Again, I have this notion for a van. Anytime I see a Transit Connect up for, I'm first one buying tickets. Like I'm just wild about a van. I do still buy tickets for rival companies, but like it doesn't bother me. Like, I would love to win something just the same as much as everybody else, but I don't buy tickets for Pristine, obviously, because it just we're not allowed to buy them.
Yeah,
we can't. Which is shit because you're up there and you're looking at it and you get to drive it and you're like, I just want this so bad. Simple things like they do a lot of Subarus. They do a lot of Subarus, like P1s, Type R's, everything.
Yeah,
like,
I'm right enough.
You'd be driving them and you're like, oh, I would just love this. Like they did Tommy Mac and an Evo. They actually 2 or 3 of those, and
unreal,
unbelievable. They're like different gravy, and you're thinking like. I know this wasn't an Evo lover, like, but I appreciate all that sort of stuff, and you're just like I
that doesn't sound like a bad job. You know?
No,
it's not. It really is.
It sounds like a dream job
for a car lover. It is a dream job.
But I would say
really
no. I actually take that up a level further for a machinery lover.
Machinery lover.
So tractors and lorries.
Everything. Like they do a lot of diggers and stuff too, and I was never into that sort of stuff. But obviously my now husband, it's so weird saying that. He's machinery mad. Like he's reared on a farm, so he has tractors.
Yeah.
He's his own diggers and machinery, and
Fair
he's
play.
just loves all that. Like so, obviously when he started buying his own diggers, I would have been doing the servicing to them. So he was buying them and I was servicing them. Really weird.
Fair play.
Match made in heaven.
Fair play.
So
that's like a farmer and a vet.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
I use it. You fix it.
I always tell him like
Structure man and a
that's
mechanic.
the only reason he married me, so I fix his shit. He just needed a mechanic because he's notorious for breaking things. So, but anyway, no, I appreciate all that.
I was about to say something. You're probably dear enough, like to be fair.
I know. Exactly. I always tell him not well enough paid. But no, I do. I love everything to do with machinery, and obviously since the tractor show, I have a newfound love for tractors.
Yeah.
Not a love, but like I really appreciate tractors now, and I can appreciate the work that goes onto them and see the parts. Oh my god, see try source parts. Like if we were to go to a tractor show now, as opposed to me like a tractor show 10 years ago, I'd be standing there like, oh my god, how did they do that, and why did they do that, and that's so original, and like stuff that I would never even heard myself come out with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think you have to see things. Like I can appreciate everything mechanical, but same again, I just think how anything works. I walk up to anything and be like, oh my god, how does that work? And we used to always do like truck shows with Daddy and stuff years ago when he had the trucks. So obviously the love for trucks is always there, and I went and done my lorry license and stuff.
You have the lorry license as well, have you?
I have the lorry license as well, So I've never went and done the driving, but it's there.
Aye.
Just thought it was there, but no, everything. I just love everything. See anything that has wheels.
Unreal.
Do
you know something? There's a lot more to somebody whenever you actually get a good conversation with them.
That's what everybody, like I always say that, see when people see me, like that a lad pops up on Facebook as your doll trying to sell tickets again, like they have no idea, like I always, like they don't know I'm a mechanic, they don't know I know that stuff inside out. Like I was selling tickets for, say, a Ford Focus randomly, or S Focus, like I've served my time at them. I know them inside out, I know them back to front. Like people don't know that, people just think, oh, there's your doll trying to sell me a ticket. Like, there's a wee blonde, like it's just such a stereotype.
You probably
really
heard comments you wouldn't like to hear.
Yes, I was saying that to Michael earlier. Obviously, with my job and all the opportunities I've had, when social media came a big thing, TikTok came out during COVID. I downloaded TikTok, started putting up a lot of videos, and I thought, there's a lot of people making loads of they're getting a real big following with just doing like their daily life. I thought, right, I'll put the camera up. I'll do like just me. I put literally recorded me doing a job and put music to it.
Yes.
And some of them done well, some of them done crap. I'd done one video of me putting a steering rack in my A7, and it went through the roof. Like I'd got thousands, but I voice-overed it, so I was chatting through, and obviously that's where my market is. I do need to do more videos like that, but as I was saying to Michael, I didn't get a wild lot. I got a few nasty comments. You're going to get that anyway. I didn't get that many, but reading other comments on other girls' videos, it just sickened me to the core, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be part of that life. So I took a massive step back from social media, and I still haven't really got back into TikTok. I launched my Instagram page, I launched my brand, and I really do need to get back into TikTok, but there's part of me still there being like, I hate when people say bad
So your
things.
brand is?
Automotive Blondie.
So is that like a play on Supercar Blondie?
Yes. Yes, there was a play there. Yeah, it was a play in words. I love Supercar Blondie. I think she's seen a gap in the market and she just went for it, and I think that is fucking class.
I just think when she just gets in the car and puts the foot down, you just see that.
And it's just like, but I obviously I don't know much about her. I don't know what background she came from. Like she obviously loved supercars. I couldn't give a flying toot about supercars. Like I always said from I started mechanicking, you call me more of an old school blondie because I love everything old school. See anything vintage or like pre 1990, like I just love it. But
you should do like a spin-off with us.
I should.
And be Feltspec Blondie.
Yeah, that is what I'm like. It is ridiculous. Like,
and we'll just go around the country reading Boris.
This is Jazz Blue Mark IV. Stop
just
the car.
Literally just go and go, right, we're going to look at some 306s today.
Whoa.
Well, then,
there's a 405.
Does that ever put pressure on you, though, to be like, I can't fucking tell you my hair, like, brown?
That actually did, because I actually have, like,
There's boys having throwing a lot of fireworks
we
here
should
tonight.
have, like, a Halloween party.
I'm thinking that.
It's about early. It's
I don't really want them on the street, to be honest.
October 1st, October 2nd. October
2nd.
So I obviously now I can't colour my hair, which is a bit shitty. But like, sure, I just, whatever. It's a brand. Maybe it's not me. Like, it's a brand. But so I actually came up. I didn't know what I was going to call the brand. I wanted a brand name. Messed about for a long, long time, and then I ended up setting on Automotive Blondie. So because
has a good ring to it, to be fair.
Covers
everything,
most things, because I'm not just cars. A lot of people said something about cars and stuff, but I was like, no, I'm not just cars.
Yes.
And people know me. There's a lot of people know me for tractors.
Yeah.
So I can't say I'm just cars, because I'm not.
So actually, I can use this to spin off into way I'm going to direct the conversation here. But like, let's talk about a bit about social media, and like we had the same conversation or similar conversation with Vicky a couple of weeks ago, and you know, being a woman on social media is both a blessing and a curse. 100%. So if you're a girl that's into like cars and tractors, automatically you get a lot of boys going, oh my god, she's into cars and tractors, and you get a big bump up. On the flip side of that, you get a lot of boys that somehow suddenly seem intimidated by the fact that you're a girl that knows how to fix her own shit.
It's such, I wouldn't say it's 50-50, I would say it's about 60-40. So being a woman in a man's world, and that is just literally what it is. From the day on air, I started even working in the garages. I had a lot of customers give me cheek. I've had majority are older men. I know it's such a stereotype. I think younger men are more accepting of it, but 100%. Older men be like, what are you doing here? Like, what can I speak to a mechanic? And I'm like, right, here you go, standing here. And they look you up and down, and they just be like, no, I want to speak to a mechanic. You're like, right.
Because their generation.
They just don't know any different. And you know what? I do give them sympathy. Not sympathy, but I'd be like, right, that's just them. Like, you just get used to it.
Pick your battles.
And you know what? You just learn to take it in the chin. Like, you just, they always tell me, like, there's a lot of, with me working with younger girls and stuff now, like, everybody always like, oh, try and get them into that world, and try and get them into the more automotive and working with their hands and stuff. And I'd be like, right, you know what, I will tell them but I will not lie to them. It is damn fucking hard work.
I'm going to pull on to that in a bit, because that was where I was going to lead the conversation. But just for obviously more the goss side of things, like, what is some of the strangest comments you've had? Because the internet's a fucking weird place, man. Like,
the internet,
woman,
weird.
What?
You don't get me?
I do get. I picked up on that, but I didn't really realize it when he said it. But when
right enough,
I'm used to that.
The internet's such a strange place. Like, and
it's a dangerous place. I think
you are not joking.
It scares me.
100%.
It absolutely terrifies me, and I am one of these people. Like, I do. I like. It sounds really like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I do put myself out there. Like, I'm out there to take.
100%.
Like, a lot of people can get at me because I do the TV shows.
You're in the public circle.
I'm in the public circle. People have that. They just can
get at you.
Well,
you must have a tough skin, like.
I do, but I don't. I don't look at it.
Agreed.
Grew a skin.
Completely agree.
Whenever the TV show came out, we were told by our producer, we will get comments. Try not to look at them. And now, there was times I did fall down that rabbit hole, and I read comments, and I would literally be sitting thinking, oh my god, like, you feel like somebody's punching you in the stomach, like, literally, like, all that hard work you've spent years doing, because people don't see that behind the scenes. Like, they just see somebody stand on their TV and they be like, or on their Facebook ad or whatever, and they're just like, oh, they don't know anything about it. See what you say? Like, you don't know. You judge a book before you know it.
Oh, 100%.
And I think people just jump to conclusions. They can be so nasty. People are awful. People are awfully nasty. I would never dream.
Only behind a screen.
Of saying, exactly.
But it's so easy to be behind
so
the
easy
screen.
It
is so easy.
Tells you a lot about a person when someone can be an absolute knob just behind the screen.
Awful. But nobody, that's what I was, honest to God, the amount of bad comments I've had through the screen, or like over comments and stuff. But I would say I have had about, now I'm in the automotive industry now about 12 years, easy. And I would say I have had about 4 people have actually said something cheeky to my face, and like, that is like, how does that balance out? As you say, behind the screen, people just have this.
But the thing is,
macho.
You'll look at, like, you'll see 100 good comments,
yes,
and the one bad
the
comment,
one bad stands out,
and you're literally like, And sometimes it doesn't really happen. We've got a really good base, to be fair. Me and Conor have a really good base. We don't get that much shit, to be fair, thankfully.
It's because we own being shite at times.
Yes, and that's what you have to do here. Like, everybody's human, and I will be the first person to admit that. Like,
but it usually, like, I don't know, like, as time goes by, you always were told, like, if somebody says something really nasty or if it's a comment or anything on, like, it's always because usually they're jealous, and whenever you get old,
and that's such a cliche, but you know what? It's 100% right.
It is so true.
100% right.
100%. And like, people would take the piss out of you, being like, "Oh, you're doing your fancy podcast and all," and then see if you actually. No, that's not the case with us yet, but no, maybe over
or
time
ever.
There may true, but hopefully it will be. You know, over time.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you got to dream
Cross
big.
the toes.
Like, over time, like, there will be people that would have had me and Conor writ off at the start.
100%.
That would maybe at the stage be kind of like, oh, I wouldn't mind coming on your podcast.
Yes, but there's people, I think, always when you do something different, people
don't like change.
They don't like
people. Don't like
seeing people do well. I don't know if that's a Northern Irish thing or it's
this country.
It's a country. People don't like seeing you do well.
As I said in the podcast with Vicky, fuck it. Anyway, as I said people, and we also said it with Farm Theory as well. People like seeing you do well until you're doing a wee bit too well.
Yes.
And then it's like, they're just doing a wee bit too well there. I don't like that.
I don't like that now.
And like, you're grand until you're not.
Yep.
And then you kind of go out of that loop where suddenly you're, as Conor says, you're famous.
Yes, 100%.
Well, like, sure, the one thing we get asked so many times, and like, we're literally going from February.
Yeah.
TikTok, yes, it's taken off a bit, but if you look at other pages, it's taken off far better. Are you making money? Are you making money?
That's all people want to know.
Ask me
but
that.
I think that's this country again. People are obsessed with knowing how much you're making. What are you doing? Why? Like,
it's like you're not allowed to enjoy something.
To do something as a hobby.
Basically,
yes. Provided you be doing that for nothing. Yeah.
No, the ideal is that you would want to start a brand off the back of this, because all the connoisseurs I put into it, and I'd like to see something out of it.
But because I will again own, I do fuck all. So, I do as much as you do, Tyler.
Yes.
And you have just arrived here.
So, like, you know, and eventually, you know,
I'm at moral support.
Yes, that is a big thing.
Eventually, like, I would like there to be a brand there, and off the back of the brand, and you want to have your own like, sort of thing going on, and like, obviously that has to generate a bit of income because you have to pay for it yourself.
Everybody,
So at the very least, you need to break even.
Exactly.
But no, I suppose this leads me on, like, we talk about a woman in a man's world and all. So you're now sort of teaching.
Yes. So I took up, my dream was, obviously, whenever I was in the garage, you would see a lot of women come on and like need their tyre pressures done or even getting a service and stuff. And then we would have to talk to customers directly, and majority of the women wouldn't have a clue what I was chatting about, but they always felt wild comfort in me chatting to them as opposed to one of the men. Which I can understand, because it's a lot less intimidating. So I always thought, you know what, I would love to run a course where I can bring women in and like explain these things to them, coming from a mechanic.
Basics,
very, very basics. So it was actually a take up in Belfast. Again, they contacted me and they're like, here, we're looking to run this course, would you be interested? And I nearly dropped on the spot. I was like, 1,000,000%, I've always wanted to do this.
Well, there's one common theme with yourself, right? It doesn't matter how many negative comments and all there is. Like, you just sort of put yourself out there, not the amount of opportunities you've got unreal. Yeah,
I genuinely, like, I'm not being cocky.
That's because you're in the public circle.
Every opportunity that has happened has came to me, and I was always reared, believing that what's for you won't pass you, and never turn an opportunity down, because you have no idea where it's going to take you. And every opportunity I've took hasn't went me wrong. So that opportunity came. Well,
you're here now.
We don't know how this is going to go, but so
went from being nominated for a TV show to
talking shit,
talking shit in the shed.
So no, that came up, and I went up, and we created the course from scratch, and I made booklets.
That is unreal.
It's my baby. Like, I absolutely love it, and I go up and I run courses for teenagers, which they love, like the theory prep and stuff. So I would run a class with them, and they would sit on their iPads, and we would run through, and I would teach them how to do their hazard perception, and we'd run through a lot of questions and explain it to them, because when you're going for your test, you haven't a bloody clue. Like, you're not on the road, you don't know.
The whole hazard perception side of thing is just
a nightmare.
Well, like, ironically, I fucking failed 3 times in hazard perception.
You would have
Really?
benefited from my class.
No, not joking. Like at the stage,
Were you just clicking too much?
No, I don't know. Just I was shite at it. I passed the question.
That's not a hazard. That man's crossed the road in front of me. Sure, if you break quick enough, it's not a hazard.
Sure. The theory test was a load of shite. Like, an elderly woman has fell in front of you. What do you do?
What do you do?
I don't fucking know.
Drive over her head.
Stop, drive over her. I pretend you didn't see anything.
Take out the wheelchair while you're at it.
But that's why I only got my driving test like at near 18. So, yeah. I would have had it like as quick as I could have, but I couldn't pass
I think
the theory.
a lot of people do maybe fall at that first hurdle and then never get on the road. So, the teenagers love doing that. You always have to adapt the course to suit the audience. So the teenagers
100%.
love doing that. Whereas I run a course for like older women, and all they want to know is, why is this light in my dash? How do I change a wheel? And what I need to know when I go to buy a car. So I run all them tips through them.
So
I am
useful.
legit probably going to be like, Gemma, just go to this course because I get a phone call.
See the amount of like. Everybody loves it. It is
that's
literally
unreal.
skyrocketed.
That's so niche, but so good.
The tech actually told me here, like, you could be doing this course all the time. So I done that, and I ran summer schemes and stuff. And then they actually said, then that was going on for about a year. And then they said, right, we want to go into primary schools. So to me, I never worked. I have no experience. I have no children of my own. I have young cousins and stuff, but I just don't have a wild experience working with children. And trying to teach children is a completely different ball game on its own. So on Dundee Primary, it's P7 girls, and all they want to do is get their hands. There's no point showing them a slideshow or nothing. So we were literally on the playground, and I was like, right, this is how you take off a wheel. This is what a tire needs to look like. This is what it shouldn't look like. This is why it's safety. And they take everything, and they're like wee sponges. They just take everything you say, and they just look at you as if, wow. And
that's class.
It is so rewarding.
Probably
so rewarding.
In that sense, it probably helps obviously being a woman because
time.
Yes, because they're like,
all the girls look up and they just be like, wow. We actually ran a summer scheme there. It was actually just a few weeks ago. It was my last summer scheme, and we had a group of young girls. They were between 14 and 16 or 17, and we done at the end of the course, obviously they do like a wee feedback form, and they were all like, can't believe the amount of different careers and the automotive, and it really opened their eyes that there is so many more jobs. Like there's not just mechanic, and there's so many jobs in that field, and I just think it's absolutely amazing.
Because even
unreal.
If you were at that primary school and it was like someone else but doing your role,
I always say, and I actually seen it on Instagram one time, be the woman you needed when you were young. And I just love that, because if I even had somebody I could even speak to, and like whenever I left school, I didn't know any other women in the trade. It wasn't like I'm only now, what age? I'm 27, so what's that? 12 years ago I left school. It really wasn't a thing even back then. Like it's not that long ago, but it even still isn't a thing. But it's more common now than what it was back then.
But it's like, it's amazing where we've came in the last 12 years. Imagine where we're going to go in the next 12 years.
I was literally about to say, in the next 5 years or so, there's going to be like a lot of wee girls.
But women are going to take over.
It's fine by me.
As long as they take all the shit jobs. The jobs
like
they don't want to do.
It's literally, what I was going to say is, I'm just expecting like in maybe 5 years time, there's just going to be this up and coming, like you'll see Marfell car park and all these decked cars, and it's all girls.
It's all going to be girls, yep.
And I'm just going to look at that
it's
and go,
so
but you can't
learn to go, that's Tylor Cartin.
Yeah.
That's fine, like that's cool, like I'm not against that. If I had a wee girl and she said to me, I want to be a mechanic, I'd be like, gone ahead.
Well, like, to be fair, whenever I told my dad I wanted to be a mechanic, he literally spent weeks trying to chat me out of it, but not because of a girl in a man's world, just purely because he was through it, and he says, it is the most unpaid, unthankful, shit job you could get onto. There was no chatting to me. I had to do it.
But like, sure, I called him Kelly in there the other day, and he had a car in, and they were like, oh, there's a small noise in the front of it.
Yes.
And he was like, if you had seen it, the discs were about to disintegrate. This was wrong. Yes. That was wrong. How do you tell them realistically you need to spend 400 quid in this car?
Yep.
And they'd be like, oh, but it just needs a service, like an oil change.
People don't understand. But I always say, like, that completely baffles me, because I have no understanding of football whatsoever. That is like me running onto a field and trying to play a football match. People are driving cars and they haven't one clue how anything in that car, why anything's there.
Well, like realistically, none of my ones are really that into cars, and they're sort of, they've always said, why you spend so much money in a car, this X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Will they watch 30 men, or even in other sports 22 men run around the field after a ball to put it into a net?
Like,
wow.
I just don't understand that. Like, to me, I know maybe not, people aren't like that. We're probably like that, where if I have something, I have to know how it works. I have to know.
Oh, like totally.
I'm like that.
But people just aren't like that. And it baffles me. Like,
but like, even the Civic there, so a sister of mine would follow like dancing a lot.
Yes.
And she was saying to me, the conversation came up, she was like, you're mad spending X, Y, and Z on this amount or in this part.
Yeah.
And it worked out that in 1 year, she has spent slightly less than I've blew in my car in the whole amount of time. But it's like accepted to do that.
Yes.
Whereas you're a complete idiot.
I know people just have their own wee, like, what seems mad to them is normal for us. Like,
exactly.
it's crazy. It's everybody loves a different world. And you know what? I always say I would never criticize anybody for their life because everybody's lives are so different. But like, obviously me, I have a really mad, different life. Like, but I do get some criticism, and people be like, why are you doing that and why are you doing this and blah blah. Like, I do all this work. Like, obviously I do the teaching and I do Pristine and everything, and people be like, well, why are you still going into the garage and doing a wee £40 service? And I'd be like, well, I enjoy that now. I enjoy going into work. 40, as you say, a £40 service could turn into £500 worth of parts because people haven't a clue that their cars hanging together.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy that. To me, it's like, I'm going to take us back in like 10 seconds, but it's stress relief. But it's stress relief when as you're unscrewing the sump bung and watching the oil drain out. It's like, oh, this is a handy wee job, and you start looking around
and
the car,
and then you put the
and you're just
sump
like,
back in, and it rings.
oh yes, yeah.
Well, although I come here and do fucking nothing, it's just like, we'll put it this year way. So I have a day job.
Yeah.
I milk cows in the morning, milk cows in the evening. Anybody you would say to, oh, like, I literally go and drive to, like, you know, the mates' houses or that at 9 o'clock at night to stand to 1 o'clock in the morning, stand talking shite. Since
you're not
February.
Standing, you're sitting in your nice new seat.
Well, since February, since February, I've been sitting in a stool once a fortnight talking garbage.
Yeah.
And, well, now the night, obviously, in a nice chair. But that's my sense, really.
Yes, and why not?
Get away in your own. Like, well, I'm not good. I like to be around people.
Yeah.
Michael would say that whenever you want your alone time, you get your alone time.
Yeah.
I wasn't very good at expressing it at the start.
Yeah.
And I used to sit but I can't say no.
Yeah.
So I'd be wanting to be on my own to get stuff done, and then people would land. And
it's
Conor,
yeah.
Conor got the brunt of it.
Yeah.
And then I snapped.
Yeah.
And then now I've realised I have to.
You have to.
You have to say what I need to say.
You need your own space.
It's better to be toilet than just have to find out the wrong way, you know?
I'd be the same though. Like, see, when I'm in the garage, I work myself. As just me, and I am as thran as badammed. You will never meet a thraner person than me. I have to do everything on my own. See, even if the other half comes on, within 5 minutes, he drives me insane. I couldn't. My daddy has come on and tried to help me so many times. I'd be like, right, thank you, but can you please get out of the shed now?
Depends on what you're doing.
Nobody can work with me, and I would put my right hand to God.
Is that because you're too much self pride there to just
too much independence? But I feel as if that's a whole woman on a man's word thing, where I feel as if I can't ask for help.
That would have been me though, doing the engine swap.
Yep.
He's a man.
You're a man. You're a man on a man's word. You're a man that goes on like a woman.
Yes. I was raised with 2 women, so that'd be fair enough.
You're a strong, independent woman.
I don't need no man. So I'm going to actually cut in and we'll finish this segment because we still have quite a bit to do here yet. Vicky was on a couple of weeks ago and she's very passionate about this, and I kind of want to know what your thought is as someone else kind of in that sort of same face of things. So Vicky has been very vocal about this, and maybe you've already heard her talk about this, I don't know. What is your opinion on woman-only awards at car shows?
I actually watched this segment of that show because I thought that was a really good topic. Just on that note, because this lottery has just came out, but this last week I have got nominated for most influential female in the automotive industry this year. Like, this is a whole new thing. So there's new awards. It's automotive awards. It's only came out, but I have been nominated for most influential female. It keeps us on the old generation. I think it's keeping things not moving. It's holding everything back.
I completely agree.
Why did they not just have something that's like most influential person, or like as Vicky said, best car owner, top car? Like, it is. I understand where they're coming from, where they're trying to, because it is still a man's world, but it's really not. It's changed so much.
See, I'm under the impression if you're a girl and you want a show winning car,
It's a car.
Then build a show running car. And if your car is as good as anybody else's, then you deserve to win.
Yep.
And if your car isn't, well, I don't think there should be a case of best woman, because it's kind of it's like giving someone a medal for showing up.
Yep, 100%. That is what it's like. It's like a wee dusty here. You know what? We'll give you this because
I think that's an old school mentality of people thinking they're trying to include women, and the reality is they're not. They're not.
They're actually making it worse.
Agreed.
I do think that. I do agree. 100%. I did watch that, and I thought the exact same, and I agreed with Vicky. Inside out, I think in a way, it's a bit of an insult. You can't take it that way, and of course, you like one and anything's amazing, but it is a bit of an insult. I do think it's keeping things in the past, which we are not on.
Yeah. So probably in 5 to 10 years' time, whenever all your wee cronies have all come up through, it may end up being best man.
Yes, it will. It actually will.
And we'll all be sitting going, no, we should all be included as one. No, there shouldn't be a best man's award. We can build cool cars too. So normally what we do when we finished our topic, which this topic this week has been you, what we normally do is a versus challenge.
Okay.
And normally this is where I come up with something and Conor sits and thinks on the spot.
Okay.
Because he's never thought of something.
Actually, half the fucking time you fucking think in the spot too.
100%.
I'm pointing the finger.
And I had mine in my head and I forgot.
I haven't a fucking clue.
So I guess what I was going to ask you then, so the versus challenge is basically, would you rather have A or B?
Okay.
And you give an answer.
A small explanation as to why, yeah.
So I actually already asked you one here, and I've since cut it out, and the people listening obviously won't have heard this because I've learned how to edit.
I love the way you explain to people stuff.
It's breaking the fourth wall.
You'll be listening to this and be like, I already asked you something. You guys don't know what this is.
There's no secret. There's no secrets. It's breaking the fourth wall. We're bringing the audience in.
The audience have been here the whole time.
The audience this week is a fucking trailer with a lot of oil.
They may have FOMO from what they didn't even know existed.
There's Michael's twigs. He'd be getting the weed. He'd be getting married.
And laying kind of with how we are, like how we've kind of been in like some of the TikToks we've made in the past. Say, right, you're working with Pristine, okay? Would you rather, they've handed you the key to 2 cars, right?
Okay.
Would you rather jump in a Lamborghini, say like one of the new ones, I don't know, an Aventador or something like that, I don't really know supercars that well, or like a big horsepower, like stunning R34 GTR? What one would you rather take?
You just know the answer, like.
You did like hear earlier on.
I'm just
1,000. I wouldn't even consider Lamborghini. I don't know why. I do. Again, I appreciate everything. I can appreciate the work and the technology that they have, but no, it wouldn't even. If I was to win the lotto and if I had £50 million in my account, I wouldn't buy one supercar. A real old Porsche maybe, but I wouldn't class that as a supercar.
You're literally identical levels.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that into TikTok.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of wanted to ask that.
Okay.
Because that follows on with the fuck me, there's a chaser one behind you.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
That's why I thought I'll ask that, because it's the same line as what we are.
Very good. Have you thought of it?
No.
I don't even have that many mentions, to be fair, this week. So
I have fuck all. Feels like it was only a week ago since we recorded.
It was a week ago since we recorded.
Well, there you go.
Funny that.
Funny, yeah. Right. I know what answer you're going to give, but sure, it's something off the cuff. Right, Tyler. Michael kindly took you out a run tonight in 2 cars.
Oh, you're bold. I know where this is going already.
So do I.
You're handed the keys to one of them.
Okay.
And you can drive the dung out of them if you want to.
Okay.
What one do you take? The Honda Civic Type R, which I own, or Michael's car?
Which he owns, funnily enough.
Michael owns his car. Oh my God.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But, you know, the door's over there.
Right, so I'll give a bit of an explanation, right?
And I'll say what I thought you were going to say after you say it.
Okay, promise you won't cry. Either of you.
I know rightly what you're going to say, but okay.
Can't make any promises.
I would say Michael's car all day long, right? But Michael's car would scare me because there's so much like personal adaptation done to it. Whereas if I was to break it, it's like...
but there's not a fuck to give.
There's not a... Right, I'm I would. See, they're both fun. I did say when we were out in the car, I've always wanted to own a Type R. There's a part of me who was like, I've always wanted one. I never got one.
Get off the fence.
You're not going to offend, like.
No, I see this.
Don't pussyfoot around it. Just go for it.
The Sierra.
Because as soon as I said it, I was like, I'm literally just saying this because it's to think of one.
Yeah.
There's not a hope in hell with you owning a Sierra.
They're
rear-wheel drive. They're more fun. Like.
But the caveat here is at the minute, as if you were to get in my car at the minute, if you were to drive the shit out of it, you'd blow it up because it's not matte.
It just, see.
So, technically choosing the Type R would be the better option.
Yes, it would. That's all this was going through my head. You see, that's why I sort of hesitated.
But like, whether we cut this out or not, but a Type R is like having something you want to play with, but you can't.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I think anything like that is the same. It's purely down like that Sarah mine. I don't wreck her. I don't take her out anti-duffs or nothing. Like purely because there's a part of me is like,
I love the different.
That car, like that's what they're for. And if you ask anybody, hey, they're just an old dog or thing, and they are. Like I don't think they're. I said that earlier. Like I think they're over. They're made out to me what they are. Like, but at the end of the day, it's a damn good car. She's as good as standard, although I call it kit. Like, and if I was to wreck that, like,
yeah. What are your replacement?
Like, Michael doesn't like. Not that I would be left out or anything, but would try to. At times, you would see him nearly directing attention towards like my car, just out of principle.
Yes.
But like,
they both have the LSD banners.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, like, I'm like yourself. Yes, if I had money and I was younger and all, I would have went probably rear-wheel drive, maybe a Sierra or something like that.
You were so close to buying a Lexus at one point.
Very close whenever I was in England, yes.
A black Sport for £850.
Oh, you're
£800.
Isn't that mad though, even the way they've went? Like,
and he didn't think that
I don't think anybody's seen the way that was going to go. Like,
I did.
Did you?
I did. I said that and I literally got told, even in the group chat, oh, well, look how long it took Sierras and twin cams to go up. Like, you're talking 15 years. There's all like BMs are going to go up before it. No, COVID hit, Lexus prices stonks.
I've never seen anything like Lexus prices.
But like,
and yet I still can't sell my 300 because boys want a car they can jump in and drive, so they want it manually converted. Yep. Then you convert it to manual, and all the boys will come back and see, I want one that hasn't been touched.
Yep.
Fuck have you meant to do? Like,
you cannot win.
But like, a Type R and a Sierra is just not in the same league.
They're not. They're complete chalk and cheese. Like,
I would say a fair comparison would be a 2-litre twin cam Sierra versus a Type R.
No, not
it
even.
Would be, because one of them is you've got the noise and the fun, and like the fun of having that sharp little car that's just great to drive. Yeah, Sierra's not as good to drive, but do circles.
If I just said a glance on a Type R, that's one thing. But I would say a Sierra and like an IS200
again.
Now getting more in the same league, because obviously like. You look at young boys and young girls, it's IS200s and Altezas.
It's true. Yeah, like literally, that's what they talk about at schools. If you go on,
Sierras, like our hero cars, got to be along with twin cams and that, because nobody can really buy them and afford them.
You will actually laugh at this. See, anytime I'm doing my courses, and obviously the young girls are doing my course have no idea cars whatsoever. The only car they recognise now is Teslas. That is a generation that is coming.
That actually pains me.
It is. It's crazy. See, as soon as you chat about like a hybrid car, and they were like. And I said, oh, Tesla. Oh, yeah, Teslas. But then that's YouTube. Like, that's all they know.
That's technology.
That's all they know. But then that's the way things are going. And it's crazy to think that. Whereas I'm standing there being like, oh, like, I have a Sierra. And they're like, a what? And you show it to them and they think it is absolutely wild looking. Like, they just think it's awful.
That's actually true.
But that's the generations coming up. That's just, things change. Like,
I still don't think electric's the full answer.
No.
Like, if work give me
electric. It's a stopgap.
It is, because, like, the reality is, I'm working in Cork, right? Yep. I go down to go and work on a site right in Clonakilty, which is not far from the coast. So it's probably the same distance from the coast as where I am here, so 30 kilometres. You know, whatever it is, nearly 400k, 320 something odd mile of driving. If I was to do that in an electric car, I'd get, like Tylor said, Dublin, I'd have to stop in, pay in a rapid charging point, sit there for an hour, and then head on down the road, where I'd then have to do the same. And you fucking killed Patsy, you absolute dick. You took his eye off. Aye. Patsy, he didn't mean that.
Disgusted.
That wasn't fair there.
You're violating him now. As if you couldn't make things any
What's
worse.
your thoughts on that, Patsy?
He needs a bone.
He didn't like that.
Who sat you there anyway? Patsy certainly doesn't.
Should I just go home now?
But
Tore down your car and now you're getting offended.
Yeah.
No. So back to it anyway. Both of them have their like pros and cons, but I would take the Sierra, but purely just because of my background. Like
same.
I knew you were going to say it.
You probably did. Again, I still Type R is on my list of cars that I would love to own someday, even just if I have it for like a couple of months. But I just think they're a class car. But see,
they're not in the same league for fun. Like
they're not. No.
Well, like as I had said to him before, years ago, if you had a thought about it, right? So
Yes.
a Sierra, even in standard form, like 2-liter twin cam, like your own,
Mm-hmm.
you have a couple of tricks up your sleeve. Like you can put it in a limiter,
Mm-hmm.
you can diff,
Yep.
and you can act like a bell end.
Yep.
My car, you can
Goes
rev
fast.
it. You can rev it,
Still act like a bell end.
but you can rev it.
Yep.
And you
Oh,
can't even rev it properly unless you put Honda on it.
Uh-huh.
That was a great thing about my Altezza because it had a great limiter, and you could do it
Yeah.
idle.
But like, there's only one trick. Whereas now, even now, like a Mark IV Golf now with a pop and bag map
Yeah.
is seen as cult as the
Yes.
Type R is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is kind of
100%.
which is the way things went.
And isn't that crazy? Like
I think that's class.
You know, to
you
be
are
fair,
like felt head at heart, aren't
Oh,
you?
I 100%.
Oh, like, to be
Absolutely.
fair-
I am a Stancy boy, but
Yeah.
I love my felt stuff.
Yeah.
I was raging. I could have been driving a Mark IV Golf's first car, but my brother decided not because it went to the scrap man.
So you got a Polo instead.
I got a very fresh Polo, so I'll not say anything bad to
here's
that.
your- Still Volkswagen at the end of the day.
I got it with 12,000 mile on it, and it left with 175,000 mile on
He
it.
got his money's worth out of
You
it.
Yeah.
definitely did.
And it's still going with like 190 something thousand mile on it.
Your lad keep
You
bangs
can't
it
kill
now.
him.
He actually does keep banging it now.
You can't kill him.
So then, once we kind of have the verses done, we
Yep.
move on till like what's the final section, and it's called Big Old Skids or One Wheel Peels.
Okay.
Kind of obviously with the name of the podcast. And I kind of combined that into mentions because people normally send me either cool shit or not so cool shit. So I don't actually have that much because we recorded it last week, and then the podcast only went out yesterday.
Yeah.
So we've literally given people a day, which means anybody that writes to me now, they'll hear it in 4 weeks' time.
2 weeks time. Two weeks time.
No, this one's in 2 weeks' time. So the one after is when they'll hear their
I know,
shout
but
out
it's like
4 weeks' time.
Tyler's episode will be out in 2 weeks time.
Yes, but if someone writes to me now, we write this one, record it.
I'll shut up.
Anyway, I say
We get on the calendar.
So
Connor's
it's actually
still on.
all it's actually all really big old skids for me. Although there'll be one of them will be a one wheel peel for you. Anyway, one of the first ones I saw was
Automotive Blondie not liking my car. Huh? What?
No, I do like your
It
car.
actually was
taking
I
the piss.
do.
I'm
It
taking
actually-
the piss.
it actually-
I'm taking
it-
I
I am
like
not
all
offended.
cars.
I am not offended.
It's actually he's heartbroken.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I'm about to stab the wound a bit more.
Yep.
Anyway, first one I saw was
You didn't break it?
it was a no. I
Oh,
took a
sorry.
knife in and twisted it.
All right.
It's worse. The first one I saw was a number plate at the drifting at Tullyroan there at the weekend, and it was "You do too bad" on the back of a Lexus. So the way he had it spaced obviously is "UDO too bad," but look, "You do too bad." Now I don't know how that makes sense, but I thought it was cool.
What?
I just seen it. I went, "That's going in the podcast."
Is he the guy that left the crossroads and epically failed?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Oh, that was the video I sent in.
No. Do you mind? We were recording.
Oh yeah,
And somebody
episode
tried
4.
to pill second and Alexa just went,
Clutch.
and we were like,
Clutch. Yep. Mind that. And then one of the fellas, one of them in a group chat with the boys from England, and they were talking about the pod, and he was saying, one of the boys goes, "I'll send you money if you give me a shout out," and I was like, I'm not taking money. I give shout outs literally for free. So
Raking it on.
Robin Oliver Bartlett, Viking Detail in Salisbury, he will suck the sick out of your carpets if he has to. So there's your shout out, Robin. Have a good one. Then a lad there sent me a snap or a message yesterday on Instagram of he has like an old 1959 dumper.
Wow.
Aye. So he pulls up alongside a silage harvester.
Wow.
Silage harvester turfs like a load of grass into the bump.
Into the dumper.
Aye. And he just tootles away off on it.
Unreal.
black smoke pissing out of it. I think it's very underpowered.
Class.
Really underscore 21294. So yeah, like I love seeing that kind of stuff. And then just
keep up the good work.
The next one then was I seen a fella on Sabworks has put a Saab engine in a Type R.
That's strange, isn't it?
But right, and literally everybody went, that's the easiest way to make your car worse. All the Saab boys literally saying, it's like, you've just made your car worse doing that. And then he was like, oh, actually, I got the shell. He goes, and the engine's out of my Corsa, and I've got the shell. Like, I got a free shell. He goes, otherwise, I too would have kept the K20 in it. So I think everybody kind of knows the K20 is probably the better engine, because everybody was like, yeah, like an unopened Saab will not do 600 horsepower, an unopened K20 will. Mm-hmm. So, because they make so much power. They are a class engine.
Not the torque, though. Very limited by torque.
This boy had a 2.3 Saab engine as well, so that would have much better torque. But
like a K24 then?
You'd need a K24 to be comparison. And then just a few mentions. All these literally from the drifting at Tullyroan. Gareth Smiting. So he pulled me in the pits and goes, Mr. Limited Slip. And I was like, well, one of them. And he was chatting away, and he goes, he's like, he's like, it's good, I listened to it. And I was like, well, thank you very much. So chatted with him for a while, and I always kind of like, if someone comes up and recognises you kind of want to give them that time of day. And then another listener who, he's been with us from the start, Jamie Keys, again, one of those listeners where you're kind of like, I would like to give something back and get you on, because he's been so like he he's just has been quite big and spoken about like appreciating us, which obviously I appreciate as a result. And then finally I just spent a lot of time in the drifting with Andrew Robinson. I know he listens as well, so shout out for him. That's literally all I have. Short and sweet for a change, because normally this goes on for about 40 minutes.
I have one shout out, and I would like to apologise to him.
That's a bit of a one-wheel Tylor, right?
No, I'd like to apologise to him. So I was going to get, Subway for lunch.
Yes.
Work. And just like, so I was in Mindframe, so I was in with a work colleague.
Yeah.
We were just chatting away, and we had literally forgot, what are we going to get to eat? And I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, I don't know either. I've already got lunch. I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, I just come in here for a packet of crisps, a bit of sweets, And I'm like, all right. So my head was like, well, this is a bit awkward. So what am I going to get now? So anyway, I went to Subway and just was like, all here was, you guy from podcast? And I was like, sorry? He's like, you the guy from podcast? I was like, aye, yes, And then I was like, oh fuck, that was wild awkward. I was
surprise.
Like, I couldn't make a fucking bigger balls out of that inquiry than anything else. So I'd like to apologise for making that fucking awkward for Robert. He goes to me, he said his second name, and naturally I can't pronounce it.
Wojciech.
He said, don't worry about making the balls out of it, but yeah, you can pronounce it.
Isn't it Wojciech?
And you said he drives a Corsa B.
Yes.
And I happened to actually, as I was in the passenger seat of my colleague's car, whenever we were driving out of the filling station, I was like, that's a well nice Corsa B over there, So it turns out it was actually his car.
We read Corsa B, I'm pretty sure it's in Corsa Sports.
It is.
Fucking
and I was like,
unreal, I love them.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, like, if I'm caught off guard, I'm like,
but I think
hello.
people always do catch you off guard, because I do the same. People were like, oh, you're such and such, and you were like, and then you walk away, you're like, oh my god, I was such a dick.
Aye.
But
and then
I think
that impression.
But I think that shows you're human.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were just like, I mean,
you don't want to come across as ignorant.
No, that's always my fear too.
Yeah,
100%. You don't want to be, but I know a lot. Like, again, if you're caught off guard, you're just not prepared. You're just like.
Well, like, our running joke with the podcast is that we always say, like, oh, well, no one listens to us.
Yeah.
So we're always like, for the 3 listeners. And I would get people saying to me, like, I know you joke about there's only 3 listeners, like, but there's more people than you think listen. I'm like, maybe. But I will always say that, like, the 3 listeners that listen to us, because it's kind of like the self-deprecating humour.
Yeah.
And it nearly kind of sort of, that whole keeps you grounded kind of thing.
But then it's amazing when people do pull you up and say, I listen to you. And you're like,
well, like I said this story before in another episode, like he was chatting to a pile of people around his car.
Yeah.
And this felt, now I was just checking the oil level in my own car whenever we were at the LZ Fest. And somebody was like, oh, what's wrong with your Conor? And I'm like, why? I suppose I do a podcast and he maybe recognise me from that.
But people do. People
know stuff about you that you don't know about them.
That's amazing what people know. It is unbelievable what people know.
People will come up and go, "Oh, what's happened to Sarah now?" And I'm like, "Who the?"
But like, there's folks come up to you and be like, "Oh, you said X, Y, and Z," and you're like, "Da-da." I didn't know that.
That's the scary thing.
Can't remember what I did yesterday,
everything.
but anyway.
Yeah, 100%. People find you more relatable, I think, whenever 100%. You start and chat and like just come down to not come down to the level, but I think when people see you from a distance, they always think not that you're above them, but people just don't know. And then obviously if you're bringing yourself down, you're grounding yourself.
Well, like the likes of your cell, not that we're anything, but coming on now and talking and like you're a very interesting person, to be honest.
Like if you were scrolling through Facebook and seeing an ad for me selling tickets, like the real scripted Tyler that comes on and is like, you could win this.
Get your tickets now this JCB bundle with Grassman. Hey,
that is the worst Claudia accent I have ever heard.
Have you heard yourself?
No, but I didn't sound like that.
No, but
I definitely don't sound like that.
I can't do accents.
But do you know what I mean? Like I'd say,
anyway,
like even yous are sort of thinking, right? No, she's not that. Like.
There's the broad accent girl selling tickets.
Yes, I know. There's so much more to people.
I actually do have one more shout out. Actually, come to think of it, and I think he will hear this because he does listen. But the reason why I suppose I know you at all is obviously because of Joel.
Yes.
So, Joel, I'll maybe be. Let's just say I had a conversation that helped out Joel at one point.
Yeah.
And I think Joel, with you being on here, I can say now, Joel, good man, you've returned the favour.
Yes, there you go. Shout out to Joel. Joel. You had messaged me about doing this podcast, and then I got a Snapchat from Joel. You and him at work one day, and Joel was like, "Oh, I hear you're doing podcasts now." And I was like, "I wonder, is he like asking me as in like
no, I didn't.
Way or
I never even ran that by Joel.
I meant Joel asking that as in like, as he like being like, "You're doing podcasts," or like, "Oh, you're doing podcasts."
He was sitting beside me.
Shout out to Joel anyway.
He was sitting beside me at work. I mind that. I literally mind that happening. I'm replaying that in my head. I can't mind if I actually ran that by Joel that you were coming on or not. I don't think he knows.
No, I don't think. He never mentioned it up to that. Like, but no, shout out to Joel. So there you go.
So finally, to round everything off now, we are sitting probably on 2.5 hours.
So it's 25 to 12.
I have a lot of editing. I have a lot of editing to do because I always try and bring them down under 2 hours. And as I say, there's no lies here. Everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, like everything in life, all good things must come to an end. So, Tyler, we'll start you off. Just list all your socials. What's the crack with everything? So
my brand is Automotive Blondie. So you can find me on TikTok. I have a YouTube page. There's no videos on it yet, but it's on a process.
Good enough.
Instagram is my main source. I always post on Instagram. So if you follow my Instagram page, Automotive Blondie, or alternatively, Tylor Cartin, most of my stuff gets posted there too. So give me a follow.
Conor?
I'm Conor.McGoo, as you probably heard in previous podcasts.
But if they haven't?
I'm Conor.McGoo. I don't post anything.
And I
posted this one time at Bandcamp within 2 years. So if you want to look at my old stuff and one new post, go for it.
And I am Michael Scullin _ on TikTok, Instagram. But to be honest, I mainly use on TikTok now, especially. I mainly use the page, which is at Limited Slip Differences. You can follow it on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube also, because that's where this will be uploaded to.
Yes. So please like, subscribe,
follow,
and
review.
Click the bell notification so that you are alerted when we actually upload these, which is every fortnight. If you didn't know. Thanks very much, Tyler, for coming on.
No problem.
It's been very enjoyable.
Serious crack, like.
Yes, I've really enjoyed it. As it's my first time doing a podcast, and
right enough.
Do
you know what? Like, you know what? It's
give me like 6 months or a year, and I'll come back again. I'll have more stories.
100%. Round 2. We have to do a round 2.
Definitely.
Right.
Well, as you say, we've been chatting now for nearly 2.5 hours. So
we've been chatting 2.5 hours before that.
There's still more that we could chat about. Exactly.
100%. Right. So on that note, see you later, folks. All the best.
See you in the next one.